I don't know.
Oh, hey, it was muted. You muted it.
No, I didn't.
It
I
was-
unmuted it. Oh, wait, was I on the wrong?
You were on the wrong one.
Whatever.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I hear us on.
Hooray!
Take two. Hi, everybody. We're back.
And that's what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
There was a well full of bullshit with a skull in the bottom, filled with devils.
The condoms all had pinholes.
The skull was full of devils, not the well of bullshit.
Oh, I
Although I suppose, like a Matryoshka doll, 6 and 1/2 dozen of it.
If one was in the other,
Right.
and the other was in the one,
Right.
then we had a well full of devils full of bullshit.
Right.
But we purified the well, and we took a rest because we were beat the hell up.
Right. And we were playtesting Pathfinder.
The
Yes.
finder of paths.
Yes.
We found a path that led to a well.
Full of bullshit.
Bullshit.
And actually, resting is different now. It's just
Yeah.
a constitution bonus.
It's just it's your level plus
Plus your
your constitution
Ew.
Minimum one,
minimum one.
yeah.
So,
Or yeah. So you literally barely heal for shit every day.
well then I would say that you can go ahead and roll a 1d8 for the first time you drink it.
Yeah. I think I had already done that
Okay.
on there.
Now I'm mute.
Yeah.
Oh, tell Sir Pals Randy Slamage says hello.
No, I'm sorry. What's up, Nick? My little buddy.
Yeah, so Jeremy's taking over as,
As little man, the halfling barbarian.
and you're now playing,
I'm now playing Freya, the human cleric.
and Bethany is playing
I am a halfling rogue, Pip.
Pip.
Okay. Let's just say, for simplicity's sake, that you guys went back to the bed area where the goblins used to sleep. You took a rest there, and when you woke up, the cleric was sent down by what's her face?
The lady with the crazy shit in the
Yeah,
basement.
the lady with the crazy shit in the basement.
There's some crazy shit in the basement.
Bunch of puzzles.
Hillary Devrin.
She sent me there to
She
make
sent
sure.
you down there
everybody
because she
got-
said you guys had been down there for a while, and she was kind of concerned. So her friend that came
Sure.
by and said, "Hey, go down and check them out."
And a disembodied voice said, reinforcements have
Yes.
arrived.
Goblin
Your
orgy.
cleric's name is
My cleric's name is Freya.
Freya. That's right.
My god's name is Shellin.
Shellin.
Shellin. I'm not sure how to pronounce it because I don't know the Pathfinder gods.
Why are there no
Shelley?
Dave or Tim?
Yeah. Jeff, the god of biscuits. Simon, the god of hairdos.
Let me go back. True.
Dun, 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 dun,
I
dun.
was reading ahead to the.
I want to be honest, if there was a religion that had a god of biscuits, I'd probably follow that religion.
That is, yeah.
I think we can do better than
There's
this.
this-
I could
What
evangelize
does it
biscuits.
cover? Does it cover cake? I'm done with cake too.
Gravy.
I'm
Well,
more of a
cover your
pie
biscuits
person
with
than
gravy.
cake,
I mean,
but
I'm just like a god of bread.
yeah, sure, yeah. But I mean,
Or baked-
biscuits
baked
specifically
goods.
are like.
Bread for the bread god.
Okay.
More shit at your local Hardee's.
I'm just a big fan of the biscuit style of bread. I'm just-
Can you roll like? Is there like knowledge of religion or something?
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a religion skill. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want me to roll it now? Is that what you're asking?
No. When you guys come back into the room, I want you to see if you know anything about the
Yeah, okay.
pool.
The
Yeah.
well of bullshit.
Sure, the well of bullshit. If I know it. Gotcha. Okay.
What up to keys?
So where do you guys want to? Okay, obviously you guys are rested. You guys are taking your hit points and
For what it's worth.
restored your any spells or
Well, so you
what are
heal
your residence
Yep,
points.
my residence points are back up.
All right.
you heal your level plus your Constitution modifier naturally, which for you will be 3.
Means-
So you'd be going up to, you had 9, go to 12, and then actually you can heal from the, once we get back in the room, you can heal from the fountain again for another 1d8. I think
Yeah,
that was.
1d8.
Let me see that book for a second, because I can, now that it's a new day, I can craft new shit.
You can make new healing potions or alchemist fire and things
I'm
like
gonna do
that.
both. I'm gonna do all of it. I'm gonna do none of it.
You hit because you can't find the book.
Yeah.
Check the index.
Page 360.
360.
I know this because we had to keep looking it up last week over and over again, so I remember.
Okay.
Always thinking.
Oh, do we get like trigger words?
And
Well,
you
that's
guys,
yeah, we're all
Safe word for attacking.
You get Tigger words.
yeah, we're all ultra left wing. We all get triggered.
Right, and
And,
of course, this is the map that you were given when you
Yeah.
came down here. So, and since Elvis is a goblin who has been here before, Vrek, you know that this area right here is goblin headquarters. Right up here.
Goblins have shitty headquarters.
You know, you
Yeah,
work
it's
with
bargain
the
basement prices, but you know,
Beggars
there wasn't
can't
no
be
ship
choosers.
back involved.
Cheap labor.
So that's, I mean, and you guys are at the well, and this was the sleeping area. So you've explored all this. All,
Right.
like 6 areas.
Sure.
So what do you want to do now?
Well, I'll say, hey, take. Some of you guys look pretty beat up. I look specifically at the little halfling and I'm like, show me, how far into this. I don't know if I want to call it a complex exactly, but how far in did you guys make it?
Probably be easier to show you.
Okay.
Just lead the newcomers to the well of bullshit.
Okay.
All right.
About this far.
About this far.
All right.
Okay, so
you
about
want me to make a-
50 feet, huh?
One more step, and I'll be the furthest I've done.
So let me see the book again, because I want to reference as many like legit rules straight out of the book as possible, since we're doing a playtest here. So for the religion skill, I'm going to tell you what types of actions it allows me to have.
I have now made 6 alchemist fire and 4 potions,
Sweet.
and it gives me a resonance point left over to play with in case I need it. On level 20.
Nice.
The 4th level version of your character is even more awesome.
I like awesome.
Because now then he can make instead of the minor healing potions, he makes lesser healing potions, which are 3d6.
That's hot.
And I took the feat that gives you 2 extra resonance points.
Double.
So that's like
Yes.
4 more items a day you can make.
Can I just turn on the hose and just kind of like
56.
spray you with healing potion?
Yeah,
You get to
basically.
drink from the fire hose. Yay!
Take
Stanley
1d6.
Spadowski's
You
not
heal
like
3d6 and then take 1d6 damage back. Like a leaf green potion.
Yes.
Dude, that's still, I mean, it's a net gain. I'd take it. Like,
Well, it does the damage first and then the healing. So
yeah, so if I kill you and then...
if you're on the brink, you better look out.
That's right.
And so I can go ahead and get this real fast. It's Freak.
Freak.
Freak the freak.
Hold on, I actually got to update the
Alright.
tags on the stream. So let's do a little housekeeping first. Okay, so
But while you're doing that, I'm going to read this stuff.
Read it.
So, religion allows me to use an action to recall knowledge about religious matters. You don't have to be trained in religion for that particular action. So even people who are untrained in religion can try to recall information about such certain feats actually in the game. Anytime you try to use the recall knowledge function of different skills, because things like occultism and arcana and stuff also have recall knowledge. You can get bonuses and stuff like that for certain feats for that. So I imagine that's maybe what you're going to have me do, but there's also, if I'm trained in religion, I can do identify magic, which maybe that would be more apropos to this task, which says once you discover that an item, ongoing effect, or location is magical, you can spend an hour to attempt to identify the particulars of its magic. If your attempt is interrupted, you must start over. The GM sets the DC for your check. Cursed or esoteric items usually have higher DCs or might even be impossible to identify using religion alone. So yeah, or it would just be a recall knowledge. If like maybe if I'm just trying to say identify the picture on the wall as like being relevant to a particular deity, that might be recall knowledge. But if I'm trying to determine what the magic of the well is, then that would be the identify magic action, which is an hour-long ordeal.
for now, I just want, when you first walk in, I want you to see if you can recognize it. So that'd be recall knowledge.
Okay.
And then if you want to investigate it further, you can do that.
Well, I rolled a 1.
Okay, well, you come in here and say,
So that's a critical failure, and I recall incorrect information.
okay.
So you really do think it's a roll of bullshit.
You think this is an image of a goddess who was crying for her lost love, and that's why they have this here.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. We're in like a burial area, right?
Right,
So
right.
this is like a. Sure.
But you don't really know which goddess or what
Yeah.
religion. You think someone thought it was.
So as I walk in, I look at the crying face on the wall, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't remember the name, but I'm pretty sure I remember that this is supposed to represent a deity who lost their love, and this sort of visaged crying fountain is often used in burial chambers to represent the loss of loved ones.
You stayed at a Motel 6 last night, didn't you? For a Holiday Inn Express.
Sorry, Carter.
Both. At the same time.
Seemed real
What's,
smart.
what's your character's name?
Pip.
P-I-P-E-P.
PIP.
P-I-P.
Short and to the point. Like a dagger.
Which I use. Just to let you know, Glenn, I can detect traps. Basically.
Instantly?
Basically, I'm just letting you know in advance so we don't get like sprung up on.
Instantly you can detect
Well,
the trap.
okay,
Detects
alright.
all traps
I
all
do.
the time.
No, hold on,
Without
let
even
me
checking. Oh,
let
wow.
me
This
let
is
me
cool.
let me let you know exactly what it says
I
because
never, this is,
I'm good at this stuff. Where is it?
That's the font, right?
I found it first.
You found it first. Okay, you tell him.
Trap Finder. You have the intuitive sense that alerts you to the dangers and presence of traps. You gain +1 bonus to perception checks to find traps, to AC against attacks made by traps, and to saves against traps. Even if you aren't searching, you still get a check to find traps if you are trained or better in stealth, which
Which
she
I
is.
am.
She's well, you would be trained right now. You would
Yeah.
be experienced in stealth.
Yeah.
Experienced later.
okay, so
Um,
she gets,
You can disable traps as though you had proficiency rank of Master in Thievery. If your proficiency modifier of Thievery is actually Master, it increases to Legendary instead.
Oh, well, crap.
Trap
And I'm not
Finder.
mastered, but still.
Let me just
That's right there.
I didn't read all that part.
I only heard a third of that.
Basically, she gets a +1 to everything dealing with traps, and even if she's not actively searching for traps, then you would make like a background roll if there was a trap by to see if she would notice it. Anyways,
Okay, so I need to know, I probably want to know what her perception
you would
is.
want to know what her perception is. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to know your perception, but you're not here yet, but I'd like to know.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I'm just telling you for future reference. I don't know where my perception.
We're gonna find her stuck in a trap.
Totally.
That's what I would
That
do
would be
if I was
totally
running.
appropriate.
How this happened?
What is my, where is the perception?
It is right above your saving throws.
Oh, 6.
6?
And I guess it's a 7 for initiative.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's
what one of my feet.
That's if once she hits level
Trap
4.
Finder is plus
Oh.
1 to all +1 circumstance bonus, correct?
Yeah, +1 circumstance bonus to
Okay.
AC against attacks from traps, saves from traps, searching for traps.
So this is actually a new thing. Circumstance bonuses. We won't do a little explanation to that. Circumstance bonuses are like one-time bonuses granted to a circumstance, as it would apply. So say if in this case looking for a trap, that's a circumstance, so she would get a bonus. Say if it was raining outside and you had a circumstance bonus to rain, you
Yeah,
would get a
be-
bonus to that.
Or like if a range, like I don't think this is actually an option, but just say like a ranger had like favored. Well, actually, instead of just
Favorite
rain,
animal,
if you had a favored terrain, let's say, I don't think that's a thing anymore in Pathfinder but whatever, where you got a circumstance bonus to like tracking in forests,
Right.
then that would be a circumstance bonus if you were in the forest.
Actually, it kind of has one of those for rogue.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a kind of a terrain thing.
Oh.
Similar.
But circumstance bonuses can stack only as long as they come from different sources.
Right, and it's
So-
also you can't. If you get more than one bonus, you have to take the higher or the lower of those bonuses.
Yeah.
So if you had, like, say, I have a circumstance bonus, and then I have another. I can't even think of an example. Some other, like a surprise bonus or something.
Right.
You would take. You can't take. You can't stack certain bonuses.
Right.
Just like you can't stack.
Like I said, they have to come from different sources for them to.
Right, just like penalties, you can't, penalties aren't cumulative, there's whatever the worst penalty is,
Yeah.
what we take.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. So, back to the trap finder. I would guess I'd be the one that would make the roll to see if she.
If she does not actively say that she's using the seek action to look for traps, if she's just like, whatever, we're just walking down the road, then you would make the roll for her. If she's actively seeking, she would make the roll. I guess the problem is that like, if you have the feat, I don't know why you'd ever actively say that you're looking for traps since
No.
it's the same thing.
I mean, if the odds are the same, then
Yeah.
Okay, just so I don't know, who is going to be drinking from the fountain?
Yo.
I'm at full hit points, so I'm fine.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll be
so
drinking from the fountain.
Freak, Elry,
I'm fine.
Little man.
I needed to get it back up.
Okay.
And I did. I rolled already.
So,
I'll be taking small sips.
so you take,
Small.
well, you have to take, you roll 1d8, and that's how many hit points you get back. You're not just going back.
I thought you said just 8 points. My bad.
Roll 1d8, and that's how many hit points you get back.
Alright, so that's 12. And
Roll a 1 like I did the first time that I drank from
Well,
the day
since he
before.
erased what he wrote, he'll roll an 8,
Yeah.
and it'll just be
Yeah,
what
eight sides,
he
right?
had already
Yeah,
done.
that way it wastes his time. 6. It's close.
Yeah.
Alright.
Better than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
yeah. The end of last game session, I rolled
Oh,
for
you know
that
what? I
day,
should
and I
read the
rolled
chat.
Hmm?
I should read the chat.
You should.
Why? What do they say?
Oh. Can we have some...
They shit talking?
No. Not yet.
Who's talking shit?
Talk some shit, come on. Poop! Alright, so you're in the room.
Sometimes green.
Alright, let's get back to
Remember that
That's not it.
brass tacks.
Drink all that grape soda.
Brown like.
You drink, you don't drink.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. Are you done with the room?
Yeah, I don't have any reason to hang out here.
Okay.
Do I see like the skull or anything on the ground, or?
You can see that, well, the idol that the
Yeah, that looked like a skull.
quizzes came out of. You can identify. You can look at that if you want.
I mean, I'll look at it, but I'm not really like overly concerned with it. I guess.
Well, the idol is about the size of a human head and depicts the goddess of nightmares and the mother of demons, Lamashtu.
Oh, well, that's interesting and terrible.
Yeah, it's perched upon the idol says it shows a person perched upon a throne of bones. Anything else you want to make a check for? But pretty much it's just it was evil.
Okay. Well, so
Bad.
And if you weren't,
That gives me-
if you weren't evil, that's why the
sure. So that gives me the idea that this hobgoblin or whatever
yeah
potentially worships this deity.
maybe or he just thinks they're cool and
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe she's just part of the fan club, not a full-on worshiper. But
I think unicorns are
You
pretty
like what you're doing.
he's like that guy that wears like the band T-shirt because like it's got a really cool evil-looking design, but he's never actually listened to them.
yeah.
It's like like the guy at the heavy metal concert that wears the Misfits T-shirt. He's probably like
You
never.
just bought it at Target.
Yeah, like you probably never heard the Misfits. Yeah.
And you guys suspect that maybe he tainted this pool so that he'd have an upper hand over the goblins because if they had something they could drink from or they could heal themselves. I don't know why.
Maybe he's just an asshole.
Yeah,
Maybe he's just an asshole.
Fuckboy, man.
That guy's an ass.
All right, cool. We'll
Okay.
make our way. Who
Okay,
wants
there are
to,
two doors leading out of here. There is a door to the
I thought there was
south
just the one.
and a door to the east.
We have the map. Somebody has a map, I know, because Lady What's Her Nuts told me that she had given you guys a map of
The
there.
door to the south and the door to the east.
Oh, so we don't know what's to the south.
Yeah.
To the east is like.
But it looks like it
Goblin
connects. It potentially connects around to, yeah, which means we may want to go to the east to clear out so that there aren't things behind us. Right.
This is the goblin headquarters.
I think up is the goblin.
Yeah.
The corner, the top corner area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking through the.
Yeah, I know.
Well, do you check the doors?
I'm not good. Who's going first? I'm not going first.
I don't know what the hell
Well,
it
she's
is.
not
Oh,
here
no,
yet
I'm not
first.
here.
Oh, that's true. I forgot. I'm sorry.
I said- I
I'll
was
check
there
the bloody
first.
door then.
Also, give me a stealth
Yeah.
check.
Oh, stealth check. What is that?
Okay, so which door are you going to check first? South, east?
East.
Okay.
say I'm-
Stuff.
What am I rolling?
I got a 12.
The
Well,
rest
I mean,
is
if you're
best.
gonna open it, you just
Well, I want to check it for traps and whatnot.
okay. Then give me a
Perception?
Perception?
sure.
No, I rolled a 1.
Okay. Well, I guess you decide to just open it.
I guess I go to investigate it and I trip and fall into the door and it opens.
Okay. Well,
style.
What an
You-
auspicious start. 2 1s.
yes. So so you fall and open the door.
Yeah.
And there were some you make a really loud noise, and a bunch of armor and pots and pans fall, and start making all kinds of noise, and fall in the hallway and bounce down there, and there's balls bouncing down the hallways too, and all kinds of noise, and you're just making it makes a huge racket.
I shut the door.
Is that a trap?
Yeah. I think it's just to make noise, so they know we're here now.
It's alright.
So much for
Figure
being
it out.
stealthy. What's your stealth?
12.
12. You're not very stealthy either.
I actually am supposed to be. I just rolled very
Okay.
poorly.
Like you do.
Well,
Okay, so you close the door. Now what do you do?
Well, now that they think we're coming out that way, we should go the other door.
Good idea.
I'm saying, yeah.
There's probably noisemakers on that one too.
Go down there and check then.
I'll go down there and check that door. 9.
Well, you go and you notice that the door's locked.
Okay.
So-
Door's locked. Hey, little man.
But it's not trapped. You don't think it's trapped.
Little man.
Yeah.
Unlock the door.
With your fists.
Can I do that?
I mean, you can make it open. You might not be unlocking it exactly.
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
could probably.
I walk over there and hit it with my 8-foot sword.
Potato, potato.
Okay.
Check out my lockpick, guys.
Do we need a strength check?
Roll strength.
12 plus
Straight down here.
strength, so 15.
It's a very solid door.
Do we want to?
You can keep trying.
Is there
But
a,
have to be you make a very loud
Yeah, you're making
boom.
a lot of noise.
is there a sunder rule that would actually?
In the process of finding out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. So,
You should just have to roll the hardness of the door.
We
Yes.
tried pissing in the keyhole.
That's under.
Might rust it
Let's
out.
see.
I don't know.
Doors. Hardness.
okay, it's not under sunder. Anyways.
I mean, there is a hardness to everything. You could try smashing it, but doors are free. This door is very, very locked.
He has a very big axe.
That's
So-
a great sword, but yeah.
I'm sorry, great sword.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Doors are not under.
I think you just gotta walk through it.
Hardness
I mean,
175.
I could try to crowbar it or
Oh,
something.
damaging. Damage, halving, damage. Nope.
So,
I'm not even sure why I would look for damaging doors. I mean, I know there's in your.
Hold on, here. Hardness. Table below provides the hardness of some types of common materials, using thin hardness for shields and thin items, and regular hardness for sturdier objects such as armor. So this is a wooden door.
Yes.
The standard hardness is 5.
All right, so you would make an attack roll.
So instead of a strength check,
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
A 15 would hit.
Yeah.
So you'd roll damage.
Right. Which for you is, I think, 2d. Is it 2d6? Yeah. Okay. 2d6
Alright,
does he have that plus 3?
plus 3.
so 5, 6, 9.
So you'd 9 damage minus the hardness of
5.
5. So
4 damage. So then he'd have to determine how many hit points
the door has.
the door has.
As long as it doesn't regenerate once per round.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or you could just say after 3 or 4 blows the door is destroyed.
Yeah.
Does anybody have
makes
really
sense.
good charisma? Maybe they can convince the door to open.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, man. Open is way better.
Everybody's doing it.
That's right.
Okay,
For
it says
function.
there hardness for doors and reinforced structures are usually twice the hardness
Or
listed on
twice the
table.
hardness. It would be 10 in this case.
Yes.
In which case you would have done no damage to it.
Yeah.
All right. So
Stupid door.
Maybe after 3 or 4 blows, the door doesn't actually open or fall apart.
Right.
In which case,
You want to try picking it?
I don't think I have the proficiency to do so.
It's
Or
thievery.
lock picks.
Yes.
I do.
I'm not sure if you
Yeah, let me
have.
try. I got a thievery skill.
Go for it.
Are you trained in it? Because that's the question.
How do you know if it's trained? Proficiency? though?
Be
It has
checked
to have
on
a
the
check in
team.
Let's have a
T.
check.
Checking the T. No, I don't.
So, hold on. Let me look to see whether.
Untrained would be at -2, right?
Yeah, minus two. I mean, it's already calculated into his
Yeah.
thing. But let me look up thievery and see whether or not picking a lock requires
Alright.
training or not. I would think it does, but all right. Thievery trained action.
You're never getting out of this room.
So you can palm an object or steal an object untrained, but disabling a device or picking a lock requires you to be trained in it.
Alright, I guess we're going through the other door.
The one with the trap that we already sprung.
Yeah.
Well, look, we just made a lot of noise on this
That's
door.
right. So now they don't know which direction we're coming from because there's noise from
That's
everywhere.
right. They're all confused. Or they think there's like 2 parties.
Yeah.
One going each way.
It's the art of
So
war, guys.
We split them up to try to defend 2 locations, so we're better off.
Yes. You go first.
Sure.
No, I'm not.
Very dangerous. You go
So-
first.
Send me guy first.
Send you in first.
Alright,
You look like you can take a couple hits.
I go in the door.
At least a couple.
Just open it.
Okay. Well, as this one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that was not locked.
Okay. You go. Okay, 30 feet in front of you, there is the end of the hallway and then a corner. So,
But we know from the map that there's something over there.
over here, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't see a pathway over there, but we know that according to the map there should be something there.
Does he have dark vision or a light source?
He has a light source.
What's
I mean-
what's the light source?
I don't know.
Torch.
Imagine we have a torch or something. We had a
Yeah,
torch
we had
last
torch.
time.
We
that
had,
was
we had a
lit.
torch. It was.
You had your sword lit last time.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ran out-
right.
Ran out because.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I can. I don't have light memorized right now. Actually, never mind.
Okay, so torches.
Torches.
Okay, so 30 feet in front of you, the end of the hallway, you go 30 feet if you want to walk.
Okay.
And you'll see a little, like door, like a little path that goes left, and then another path that goes right.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
And we know this is the Goblin headquarters, and this goes to who knows where.
Just go left.
Alright, let's go left. Go
Okay.
peek around the corner there and make sure nothing's gonna cut my head off as soon as I turn around. Or as soon as I turn the corner.
Map change. Which way is north?
Does it? I mean, does it matter?
Does, because it gives me directions. Okay, you guys are there. Actually, which one is, this is Little Man, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe.
I can't remember which one of these was.
No, that one was. I think. Yeah, the chick was. I remember it being a girl,
Oh, yeah.
even though he's not a girl, obviously.
Okay. Marching orders.
I'm in the back.
Did you just assume his gender?
Bang.
Yes, because I made the character.
That's fair enough.
Okay.
Good enough for me.
You go down
When I can.
to this
Yep.
path right here, and in the shadows, you see someone crouching like they're hiding. And
What
they,
are you
Hey, buddy, you
doing?
trying to poop over there?
they think they're hidden, but well, what's your all's perceptions? Some of you guys may see them.
Mine is a 5.
I got a 4.
Mine's a 4.
I have one.
Do we still add 10 to that to get your passive perception?
Sure.
I can't remember. That was the
I-
old rules.
Right. I don't think that.
Passive perception is.
I don't know that it's a thing in there's. I haven't read anything that would indicate that's a thing in 2nd edition Pathfinder. So
Okay. Well, for
I mean,
the sake of argument, let's
we can
say-
just all roll perception and see
Yes.
if we. All right. I got an 11, so I don't see here if her stealth was a 12.
I got a 20.
Got 22.
Okay,
Look
so-
at these rocks.
So some of you guys see her, and some of you guys don't. So whoever got above a 12 or higher sees her crouching in there like she's ready to, do some thieving,
Me? Never.
backstabbing.
Hey guys, there's somebody right there.
Uh,
Right there.
No, right there. Just walk that way.
So
right
I want to point out, actually, there is a rule for pointing out a target. That one of the actions you can take is if something is not unseen by you, but is unseen by your allies, you can take an action to be like, yo, there's a thing right there. And that means it is considered concealed, but not unseen. Or no, it's sensed,
Sensed.
but not unseen by your party.
Interesting.
okay.
And if you're doing that during an encounter, it's actually an action, I think.
Yeah, it's actually an action.
But since we're not.
Yeah, we're not in combat.
Right.
It means that everybody now knows that there is something there because he pointed out, hey, there's something there.
Hey guys, there's a giraffe dying over there.
So,
Okay. So,
what do you want to do?
I'm not rolling these dice anymore
I'd
tonight.
be like, hey,
It's ridiculous.
what are you doing there?
You're the goblin.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I was just gonna check the place out, see what was going on.
Look, trash day is on Tuesdays and Saturdays. It is Wednesday.
Well, I just wanted to see. I wasn't trying to steal from you guys. I said.
Man, I mean, you could take it for all I care.
Aren't we here to steal stuff?
Well, he's a goblin, so she may be thinking that
Yeah.
the goblins.
Look, if
and
gonna
you're
steal-
short. You just look like a
short.
pretty goblin.
If you're gonna steal anything, take the trash out while you're gone. All right?
Steal the garbage.
I am
Take
not
that
a maid.
fungus.
That's
Um,
right. God, the best stuff.
I am a highly trained in thievery and stealth, obviously.
Oops.
I disagree.
Your
What did you forget
well-oiled
now, Glenn?
machine. What are
The
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 I know what
cameras
you're
in
thinking
the
of.
from cars.
Yeah,
The what?
The map cameras on the
of speed and
engineering or something?
yeah.
No, but you're doing it. Okay. Well,
There it goes.
Do you want me to shoot at her?
No, please, I'm not here to hurt anybody.
Over there.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm just exploring the same as y'all.
We're not exploring.
I'm here
We're
to
here
steal.
for a job.
Okay, well then, whatever you're here for, I'm here for the same thing.
That
How
doesn't-
cool
What is she?
I trust her.
doesn't seem
What
overly
race are you?
convincing.
I'm a halfling.
I'd tell you to like step out into the light.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a halfling? That's a tall halfling.
That's goddamn.
You know what? You're
It's a
this.
big bitch.
You know
That's a
what?
She
huge
has
bitch.
daggers. I use
How about that?
daggers.
How about that?
That works.
Okay.
Freak!
I have daggers. So
No, that's
uh,
That's a big bitch.
Keep it on the circus.
Yeah,
All right.
fine. You're a dude.
Yeah, she's not a goblin.
No, well, if she's not a goblin, then I don't know. Just either get out of here or stick with us and stay safe, please.
Well, I had you to my menagerie. How about that? With all these other guys here.
Menagerie.
I suppose I could
Menage
tag
a what?
along and see what
Menage
you
a man.
guys come up with.
Menage a meat.
What's in this room?
I
She
haven't
has-
had a chance to look.
Oh, we'll go look and tell us what's in this room.
Since when y'all just met me and y'all think I will take orders from you?
You're gonna go in there
You're gonna do it anyway.
I just sort of like
Well,
lower.
doesn't mean I was gonna report
I just
to you
sort of
about it.
lower. I just sort of lower my glaive to point in her direction. Like,
Quick, someone ask her where she wants to go eat.
so go.
So in the room there is a campfire. You can barely see because it's dimly lit.
It looks like a tea light.
Yes, it looks like a tea light for some reason.
Arts and craftsy motherfuckers.
KKK.
'Cause I didn't
stuck in
have
a sewer
time.
hole. Flashlight's blinking underneath his robe or something.
Yeah, he's like trying to signal everybody.
Alright, so,
Yes.
so
Yes.
do you want to try to sneak in there?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to do another stealth check? Or
Yeah.
you want to stay with your 12?
No, I hate my 12. That was terrible.
You can do gooder.
Actually, yeah, I definitely did do better. I got a 21.
21. You are very well hidden, and, okay. Proceed.
Told you guys I could sneak.
Okay, you take a step in. Okay, I'm going to read the description. This large sunken chamber is more cavern than worth stone, and the tangled damp flagstones underfoot provides an uneven surface. Water and slime drips from the walls, seeping in through narrow cracks above. A crude fire pit sits in the middle of the room, surrounded by filthy mats of fur and fungus. The stench of warm, wet bodies hangs faintly in the air, underlying the smell of overcooked meat.
Yeah, guys, this
It's
is a bunch
very
of
funky.
nope.
It's funky, man. It is goblin funky in here.
This is a bunch of nope. This is really all it is.
So,
There's me, orange red dragon.
how far in do you want to go? Use your little laser pointer.
I'll kind of stay up against the wall and just kind of creep into about the middle of the side over here,
That far in. Okay, somewhere.
just so I can get a really good glance around. And then plus, I'm being really sneaky, so I feel like I can handle this.
Is radio clash.
Okay, there's a stalagmite right here. Use that as a reference. How far in do you want to go?
Oh, actually, no. I'll just creep in behind the stalagmite.
Okay.
and just
When you get to this point, you are pretty stealthy. You see actually a goblin holding a rope.
So she creeps.
You see a goblin holding a rope.
Well,
Okay.
he doesn't see
He's
me.
holding a rope,
Okay.
and the rope goes up. Do you want to look up?
Is it a trap?
Probably wouldn't.
Q Admiral
You sense
Akbar.
that it could be a trap.
I sense that I
So-
could be a trap. Well, I can roll and see if it's a trap. I'm gonna roll and see if it's a trap. Can I see if it's a trap? Can I do that?
Yes, you have a 20. You sense a 25. That it is a trap, and you look up and you see that there's a net full of boulders at the end of the rope.
Oh yeah, no.
Right? That would fall down in this area right here.
Goblin.
So now, what do you wish to do?
I will.
Stand underneath it.
I will sneak back and just be like, "Yeah, guys, you might not want to go in there." Well,
Why not?
well, because if you do, you're gonna have just a whole bunch of rocks falling on your head.
Rocks fall, everybody dies.
Yeah.
That's
Couldn't
kind of
you
the
just
motif.
disable the...
Well, that would mean I have to like try and fight the guy. I don't know if there's anybody else in there. I don't feel like doing all that work. You told me to go check it out. I went and checked it out. This is what's going on. So,
Okay. So is there a guy like holding onto a rope or something?
yes, it is. I'm sorry, I was not very specific in the scenario. Yes, there is a goblin. He's holding onto a rope. The rope is holding a net full of boulders. The boulders will fall onto your head as soon as you enter the room.
Who's Annette?
Someone who needed to be held.
Who could hold a bunch of boulders?
I ain't about to try and take on however many goblins might be in there by myself, so
But you
y'all
said
do
there's
what you
just
said.
one.
I only saw one, doesn't mean there's not more.
We know there's a lot of boulders.
What? We could find out real easy. What if you go sneaky back in behind the guy?
I might not roll as high.
I don't know what that means. But if you sneaky back in, get behind the goblin holding the rope, and then we make a whole lot of noise out here and try to get them to like run out to us, and then you stab the guy, making it, or cut the rope, or whatever, and cause the boulders to fall on all the ones that come out. Or if none of them come out, he just sits there and waits. then we know it's just him. Either way.
Am I gonna get paid for this, or y'all just using me because?
We're not killing you.
I mean,
I
you're
wouldn't
not
say
wrong, but I
reason.
feel like that's not. I don't know that I was going to. Let's put it this way: we have been hired to retrieve an item from down here. You seem to be down here looking for things of value that you might be able to make a living selling. Like, I don't know if those have value.
There's a really rare.
I don't know
strain
if
of
they.
fungus
I don't know
around
if
here.
they
I'll show you what it
don't
is.
have. I don't know if they don't have value, but I don't know that they do either. So, I think we could probably arrange it that if you help us out, you get a cut of not only the things we may find down here, which we have been told we could take, with the exception of the one thing we were been sent to retrieve, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be paid for our time as well once we return. And if you help us out, you could be in on.
I want 30%.
That's ridiculous. You can go home.
I wasn't even drinking anything that made me puke.
Oh, pizza's ready. Go get it. I'm gonna have someone go get it.
Ro, go get the pizza. No. Yeah.
Oh wait, in real life.
Yeah, in real life.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, no, in real life. Yeah, we have to have somebody go get the pizza in real life.
No.
We'll deal with this shit in a minute. Let's go get our pizza first.
So after these messages, we'll be but no, you're not getting 30%. You'll get an equal cut as everybody else. Fair is fair. Or you can get none. I mean, that's certainly a possibility as well.
All right, fine. Fine.
So, I mean, do we want to try out my plan? I think it's a decent plan. I don't know about everybody else.
Y'all take a vote.
Yeah.
It feels like God's not watching. Let's just do whatever the hell we want.
Oh, no, he is. She is. There's more than one. They are.
I just make Glenn.
I know what you meant. I'm in character, goddammit!
I got him. Yeah. This sounds like, hey, and if she doesn't survive, then it's more new for us.
Hey, thanks for that vote of confidence there.
It'd be great. You know,
You're
you
my
have-
least favorite now.
I have things that kind of look alike.
Again,
Sorry.
I'm going to point out that you're not wrong. I'm just not sure that that's the line of thinking that's going to.
Or
Yes,
why
where we
don't
wanna
you
go.
go in there since you're also a goblin and maybe you can talk to them.
Anybody shoot?
That's not a terrible idea either. I'm
Who
gonna
is
go.
it over? Is that cousin Tony? That's cousin Tony.
You're all the same, right?
Yeah. So sure, I can do that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's fine with me. I like that. I like any of these ideas in which we try to determine. I mean, hell, you could probably just go in and just walk around, maybe. Maybe? I don't know. How recognizable are you as...
Although I do-
kind of have help wanted posters. Help wanted posters.
There's
Help wanted
still
posters.
Help wanted posters.
Oh,
so you're pretty well known then.
Yeah, they don't like me around here.
So there's
It's
still the
pretty
fact
much
of these
cute.
boulders that if anybody steps through the door, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna drop.
yeah, that's why I'm hoping that there's more in there that we can draw them out.
Okay, so what have we decided?
We've decided that
We're
Rick
gonna
here is going to go in and have a chat with the
Yeah, we're
goblins. Isn't that right, Rick?
send
Watch
Rick the
yeah,
freak.
yeah, watch this. I'm gonna go up to the doorway, but I'm not gonna go through it. All right.
Ollie, oxen for
I'm gonna be like, hey, cousin Tony. You remember that money I owe you? I got it. Come on over here. I'll give it to you. I gotta go. I gotta run quickly. Come on. I'll make a charisma or whatever check.
Okay, persuasion, sure.
Persuasion.
Well, that's not a thing.
No,
Deception.
that's not the same.
Deception.
Deception, yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a deception check. Why not? That's gonna be a 5. That deception will now be to use alchemist fire.
You hear someone saying, "I know you're lying."
Oh, you think that? Come over and say it to my face.
And hold on, you're standing in the doorway.
Yeah.
What's your armor class?
15.
He said he wasn't going in, he was just
I'm not
standing
going
there.
No, but they can still see him.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Where is their bow? Bow.
Where would it say if I have low light vision?
It
would
says
be
for
on-
me like a perception where it says dark vision.
26.
I think it'd
Okay.
be on the back right here.
I would have written it under perception. I would have written like low or dark or whatever.
Oh, well, never mind.
So
I
elves don't get.
Maybe I screwed up with yours. I think you do get
Okay,
low light. as well.
an arrow flies in and hits you for 3 points of damage.
Son of a... Hey guys, there's more than one over here now.
You have low light vision as well.
Okay. I'm gonna just
I goofed.
get out of the way,
All right.
and I'm gonna move into the doorway.
The hell, that's...
You can send your kitty cat.
No.
Oh, I did. One thing I did want to correct for you because I was looking up stuff. We know how we were saying it's like a 1-for-1 action transfer to command your pet or whatever. If you use one action for the command pet action, if it's not like for a ranger, if you have the feat that gives you the animal companion, you don't have to make a roll. Otherwise, if it were something that you were like training, you would. But and the pet actually gets 2 actions for the one that you're giving up to command it.
Well, that's cool.
So
That's a lot
Right.
better comedy.
Anyway, I'm going to move to the doorway so
Okay.
I can see this dude over here,
Okay.
Push me out.
cousin Tony. I'm going to declare him as my hunt target, and I'm going to shoot at him.
Okay, let's roll initiative first.
Okay.
Perception.
And use perception, yes.
Rolled a natural 20.
I rolled a natural
Oh,
one.
fun.
Go
I
on.
rolled a natural 16, which is really just, I mean, there's no point in saying that. I was just a 16.
You rolled a
Plus-
1.
I go on 24.
Plus, oh, but I have a plus 5, so that's a 21. That's pretty good.
How'd you get that?
Your perception?
Oh, it's percent, okay.
And actually, it doesn't always have to be perception.
Yeah, that's just the most common
Alright,
thing.
yes. Because, like, say if you were to, they said if you want to do something like, you wanted to drop in from the chandelier on the top or something, you use acrobatics or some crap. Or dexterity. Freya 21. Pip.
I got 11.
Okay. Little man.
14.
Drake.
2.
A whole 2. So, what'd you do? Roll a 1?
Yes.
Okay. Well.
I can't believe cousin Tony had me shot.
Oh, God. 7.
Cousin Tony, he was always a douchebag.
He was.
So I've rolled a
They-
1 and a 20 so far.
So it's balancing
I'm
out.
still sneaking.
I guess
I
it's
don't
well
wanna be seen
weighted.
yet.
I guess.
Well, before I changed dice, I had rolled a 1 and a 2, and then I said, fuck these things, and I changed dice. And these
That
are,
is not well weighted.
yeah. These are performing much better. I think they learned the lesson from the other one.
Shame.
That's right. Shame on it. Tries to run game on it. What? The trigger.
Shame in the game.
Putt 1, putt 2, putt 3, putt. Old dirty bastard.
Okay.
Have an uncut. Styles unbreakable, shatterproof. To the young truth, you want to get gun. Shoot. Wow.
Take
How you like me
nothing
now?
to fuck with. Take play, ain't nothing to fuck with. I love that song.
The itsy bitsy spider. Living that dad life, yo.
Paw Patrol.
Speaking
Paw
of-
Patrol, be there on the double. Fucking hell.
Okay, got it all set up here.
Something about to run a train on us.
I'd like my cat to go back into the hallway. Fucking cat never listens to me.
Go sniff that other cat's butt.
Alright, so I'm gonna lean in the door. I see that dude.
Wait, I can speak Goblin. Shoot, I didn't know that.
Designate him as my target
Well, okay.
and attempt to shoot him.
Natural 20.
No, not a natural 20. That's gonna be a 14 to hit.
That would be amazing, but it's not how we do things here.
I know. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf.
How does cover work again?
So if they have cover, then they have.
Plus
If they're just naturally have cover, it's a +2 to their AC. If they are taking cover, using the action to take cover, it doubles to +4 to their AC.
Right. That's what he's doing. He's actually behind the stalagmite, and he's actually crouched down.
So then he would have +4.
Right.
Well, it depends on if from her line of sight whether or not that is he would have cover from her position or his position, whatever.
Well, yeah, the whole
If
whole
you
idea is
do-
they're behind there, so all they can do is basically enough for their head to look over to see.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
So,
he-
he gets a
you know,
plus
I
4.
mean,
then he has a +4 to his AC.
So that will not hit.
All right. I will shoot a second time. And that's going to be a 16 minus 4 is 12. Probably also miss.
That is a miss.
Okay.
So the arrows are hitting the stalagmite going ping, ping.
All right.
And you see the head duck back behind.
I will move out of the doorway.
Okay.
Do you have an action left to do that?
Yeah,
Yes.
you already had one.
He
Yeah.
hunted and then attacked twice.
Oh no.
That would be
Oh
three
yeah,
actions.
hunt is an action.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I guess I'm standing in the doorway then.
Okay. Freya, you're up. There's always delay because that's something we haven't been doing for a while. There's
Yeah.
always-
I'm going to. I don't know that I would do well with that. I have an idea. I just don't think it's something that my character would do well. Can I? Oh no, that's a touch spell. Can't do that. I want to just I want to juke them out. Like I want to run up like I'm gonna go through and then be like psych and see if I can get them to drop it. But I feel like that would probably be like a deception check or something, and I'm not. Not gonna be able to pull that off.
Try.
I mean, yeah, that would be a deception check.
Yeah, I have a +0 to my deception.
If you want them to spring the trap, you could attempt to spring it for them.
Sure. Yeah, I just don't have any ranged attacks that would. Like, I could try to shoot the net or the rope or whatever, but I
Right.
don't have anything that would do that. So I'm going to. I'm going to cast Shield on myself. So a magical shield of force appears in front of me. And then I'm going to ready my action, or ready myself, which takes 2 actions to ready, and then your turn ends afterwards. I set a trigger for my action. Trigger will be the boulders dropping, I guess, and my action will be to attempt to, I guess, move through what I will probably be like difficult terrain or whatever afterwards, but try to move into the room.
Okay. So you say you are gonna move into the room?
No, I
just
I
ready.
cast shield, which is
Yes, shield.
just a verbal component. So 1 action, and then I'm readying an action, which is two actions, and your turn ends at the end of it.
Yes.
My trigger is for the boulders to drop, and what I will be doing is moving if the boulders drop
Moving which way?
into the room.
Okay.
Basically, the idea is I imagine the boulders aren't going to block the room off entirely, because
No.
then they'd be trapped in there.
Right.
So the idea is that the boulders drop. Then after they've fallen, I'll try to run and weave through whatever, move through the area to get
Gotcha.
in.
Little man.
I got nothing.
Got nothing.
Let's see. We only have the one to deal with. I'm just gonna pick up a rock and huck it at him. Yeah.
Well, I think you have a crossbow. No,
No.
that was the other guy.
Yeah.
You don't have any ranged weapons.
No, that was a great sword.
Should throw insults at him.
You could try to intimidate them.
True. I'm gonna dare him to drop the boulders as an intimidation. You won't
Okay.
do it.
11.
Yeah, 11.
Against his.
Well, so for intimidate, let's go to the skills.
Would be against his.
Let's go to the skills. So intimidation. It would be a coerce, right? So it says with threats either veiled or overt, you attempt to intimidate a creature into doing what you want. You must spend at least 1 minute of conversation with the creature you can see, and who can either see or sense you.
1
At
minute.
Yeah. At the end of the conversation, you attempt to intimidate check against the target's will, DC modified by the circumstances of the GM's discretion.
Okay.
Alright, so,
So
start talking shit in 10 rounds from now.
Yeah.
10 rounds and I'll roll.
There's
we'll
there's
roll
a
that.
feat though that allows you to do it in a single action, but it's a feat that you have to take, whether the intimidate skill.
Okay. So we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
I think he actually has it on the level 4 thing, if I remember correctly. But yeah, quick intimidation. He gets it when we level up.
So when you're level, the next level, you can intimidate.
Then you can do what we want to do right now.
Or spend 10 rounds. Yeah. we can.
So, are you doing anything else?
No, actually, I got intimidating glare. What is
That just means that they don't have to have a language that they understand. Like you don't have to. You can
Yeah.
just intimidate people with a look. But that's
Or-
only for the
or a
demoralize
gesture.
action, not the coerce action.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I said, there's always delay. You can always wait till they do something and then take your action. But then you're permanently changed in initiative order. Not that it may matter.
No, that's not true. That's not the case in this. This is just your new action becomes a reaction with the trigger of what you have, whatever you
No,
have determined the trigger is.
That's not delay. That's readying. But if you there's
Oh,
also
delay.
delay.
Yeah.
You can also delay, which means I'm going to just wait until they do something, and then I'll move my initiative order anytime. But I think it takes one of your actions. Delay.
I don't know. I didn't look at delay. I only looked at ready.
So I mean, there's always that option if you don't really know what to do. Because
Undelay, off delay.
actions, I guess it's under actions. See other actions.
On delay sounds like a relay to me.
So delay is a free action. Trigger
free,
your turn
free.
begins. You bide your time waiting for the right moment to act. The rest of your turn doesn't happen yet. Instead, you're removed from the initiative order. You can return the initiative order as a free action triggered by the end of any other creature's turn. This permanently changes your initiative to a new position.
Right.
You can't use reactions until you're returned to the initiative order.
Yes.
If you delay an entire round without returning to the initiative order, the actions from the delayed turn are lost. Your initiative doesn't change, and your next turn occurs at your original position of the initiative order. So you can either ready an action saying, hey, as soon as this happens, I do this as a reaction to it. Or you can say, I'm sitting here waiting, and I'll tell you when I'm going to go.
Right. Now, the only thing about delaying is you can't do it to forego something that may happen to you. Like say,
Right.
you're poisoned. I'm going to delay so that someone can heal me before I take
I
the
take
damage.
damage. Yeah,
Right.
something that happens at the beginning of your
Right.
turn doesn't take effect.
Exactly.
So do you want to
Yeah.
wait, or do you want to...
Yeah, I'll delay my insult for a better moment. And I'm basically gonna, whenever it happens, I'm gonna dare him to drop the boulders.
That-
Well,
that-
I'm
well,
Yeah.
intimidate still wouldn't work.
This
because
still takes a minute.
it
So
still takes a minute.
you basically just be waiting to see what happens, and then maybe running in.
Alright, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sit in front of the door with my sword like this. If anything comes through the door that isn't one of us, that's my trigger.
Okay, so that would be, he'd be readying an action then. He'd be
Okay.
using
Okay.
one
So you're readying.
one action to move, 2 actions to ready, a trigger of something that isn't, that's an enemy coming up, and his
Okay.
action.
But if anything else happens,
then nothing happens.
nothing happens. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dip.
All right. So you said this is like a rough terrain, or
Not yet.
not yet? Okay.
I'm assuming that once the boulders fall, it would be
Well, I'm
considered.
gonna go ahead and sneak back around behind him.
Okay. Give me your stealth.
I got 17.
And it's like, critical failure, yeah. Well, I guess the boulders are coming down.
The trap is sprung.
I'm not gonna worry about that anymore. Just have a dead halfling on the ground.
Goodbye. This is fun,
Thanks for
guys.
playing,
What
Melody.
do we do with all the dead unicorns?
So we don't have to share the treasure.
That's right. Worked out exactly as planned.
Time is money for him.
All right. So where do you want to be?
I'm gonna sneak around behind him.
Speaking of, have you gotten your island expeditions done for the weekend?
And I'm going to stealth attack,
Sneak attack?
sneak attack, and then depending on how that goes, I'll let you know.
Well,
You're attacking him? Is that what you said you're doing?
Yep.
so you snuck up behind him.
Okay.
Going stealth. Is that a free action? Is that an action?
No,
at all?
stealth would be sneak. Sneak is an action.
Sneak is an action.
She has to move at half her speed while sneaking to remain stealth.
And what's your movements?
At 30?
Look at the front page. It says
Pushing it.
speed.
Oh, no,
Here.
25.
So you can move 50. It would be 10 or 15 feet depending on how the DM was rolled.
Yeah, you don't get that. You don't get that close.
Well, it just means she would take 2 actions to move instead of 1.
You wouldn't get there.
She would get there but wouldn't get to attack. It'd be 1 action to sneak, then 2. It would take 2 move actions to get there.
To get behind him, yes.
And then you'd be there ready.
But
you
if I
wouldn't
was in
attack.
that other spot, would I be close enough to attack, or would I have to be like right next to him?
I think it would take you 2 moves no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. We were here.
Yeah.
So that's 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Your movement's 25, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's moving at half
Would you
move. She
here
moves
or
25.
here?
Yeah.
She can't even get to him.
She couldn't get to him.
Yeah.
But I will go right there and I can throw my daggers.
Well, no, because your movement's half.
I know, but
It
I
takes
can.
you 2 moves to get to 25 feet.
So I'll go here.
One to
where
stealth.
you said-
1 to stealth.
2
2 moves to move 25 feet.
And then you go.
That's
Oh,
And then you're done.
okay. I didn't realize. Okay, got it. So those are my 3 actions. Okay, so I'm hanging out right there for now. I'm just gonna watch him.
That's cool. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, okay. You can't
Alright.
see me. Sorry.
The IP camera is frozen again.
My mobile camera? Yes, it is.
I meant to order one of those stupid cats and forgot to.
Yeah.
Little,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or get one of the little birds that like drinks from the water.
yeah.
That's a good idea, too.
So you can tell when it froze.
Yeah. Well, so because
We
we
think
the
that
reason-
maybe the reason it's freezing is because nothing moves for.
Yeah, so it
period of
basically goes
time.
idle and then.
Not. Yeah.
So sneak, just so you know, is you do move at half speed, but also it says you automatically become seen if you don't have cover or aren't concealed from someone at any time during your movement, or as soon as you do anything other than hide or sneak.
So
And actually, the sneak action gives you half your stride speed. So technically, she'd be sneaking twice to get to the 25 feet,
So I can only.
and then she would still have 1 action left, where
I
she
got
could
you.
move another half, sneak again, or do her throw.
Okay.
So it's
Oh,
not
so-
because
It's not. Sneak's not an action. Sneak is a move action.
right. Hiding is the becoming unseen,
Right.
and then once unseen, once you've hidden, which she was already hidden from before, you sneak to move
Right.
and remain unseen.
Okay. So you basically
So I
you have
can
one
throw my
more
dagger.
action.
You could throw a dagger.
The question is,
I-
are
I'm-
you still under the boulders at this point, or have you cleared them?
I don't know, Glenn. Am I still under the boulders at this point, or have I cleared them?
The other question is whether or not the enemies are, if you have cover or concealment in your path of movement, to remain unseen during that time. So
Yeah, that's what I was curious too. If I'm staying up against the wall and it's dark in there, I would feel
well,
like I.
but I
have
believe
concealment.
goblins have dark vision.
Yep, we
Yeah.
do.
So, however,
This particular dude.
It's still behind the stalactite.
if he's within, that's true. If he's behind the stalactite might be giving her
Right.
cover
Gives you your cover as
from
well.
him.
Yes.
However, if there anybody else in the room, maybe
And
not.
then we're
But
done.
if they're peering through the campfire light, that would break their dark vision.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm
that has to
I'm
be considered
concealed.
as well.
Am I still concealed? Or
That's what I'm asking him. I don't know.
I don't know, Glenn. Am I still concealed?
Yeah.
Cool. All
Until
right.
you do something.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Well
you
then,
have, you
if
have
I'm
one
not,
more action.
you know what? I'm gonna throw my dagger at the trap. So
That's
it's
the trap.
at the rope.
Try
Okay.
to cut the rope.
Cut the rope so that the boulders fall.
Go for it.
All right. What do I need to roll?
Right? If you attack the rope he's holding, the boulders wouldn't fall, but he wouldn't be able to pull the rope. Right?
I guess it depends on whether or not his weight is what's holding the thing up, right?
Right. Or if he's pulling a linchpin.
Right.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if it's him, I can't imagine his weight is holding the thing.
Right.
Unless he's got
Because
some
that would be
wicked-
crazy.
Wicked pulleys.
Yeah, there'd be a crazy engineered pulley system to allow for that to
I
happen.
mean, they are holding up boulders with rope, so they must kind of know what they're doing to some degree, because I can't think of a way to make that happen.
We'll see what
Like
happens.
fucking sailors.
Okay.
Yeah.
You throw your dagger at the net full of rocks.
Not the net, at the rope itself,
At the
so that it'll cut it and the rocks will fall.
Hopefully.
Either the rock will fall.
Make an attack
or,
roll.
Make an attack roll. Let's see what happens.
Cuts it like 2 inches above his
Okay,
hand. Just
and then I
reaches
got-
out and grabs
It ain't
his
gonna
pen
do
and yanks.
shit. I got 2
2.
plus was
Not enough.
6.
Yeah, I'm thinking to hit a rope
You gotta be
in the
pretty
dark.
It would probably.
in the dark.
Well, you're halfling has dark vision. I can't remember.
Well, I have
No,
keen
no, they
eyes.
That's not.
She has keen eyes. So
That doesn't matter here.
That doesn't matter.
It's not
here?
considered
I'm
concealed.
not, and like I said,
Okay.
the difficulty would be extreme to hit a rope.
Well, you would just you would
She-
keep it.
feet up in the air,
She missed.
Yeah,
I
it
missed.
doesn't matter. She
Yeah.
missed.
Yeah, I missed.
but you're no longer stealth.
And
Of
you're,
course,
and you're no
like-
longer hidden. Yeah.
Shh. Hey.
Now the question is whether or not you're in a position that would make him drop the boulders or not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're done with your actions. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah, I can't do anything else. Hey guys.
What was it? I think that's something with the pizza.
Hooray!
Huzzah!
Pizza!
Pizza.
Thank you.
Thank you!
Thank you!
Oh, now we have the dogs. Hello, dogs.
We've been invaded!
Okay. So, the goblins go now. So, if you guys want to grab some pizza,
Yeah, if you want to grab some pizza while the goblins roll many dice to murder us.
Everybody except Bethany.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Get attacked, that's what you do.
she's fine. She's
Actually, that might be why Bethany's the one that should be, because she's dead. So it's fine for her.
fine. She's
Robbie, come on. Here you go.
Robin.
That's cool, guys. Thanks.
Had a good time! Yay!
It was real.
Sorry, even though I'm playing a cleric, I don't have resurrection yet at first level. I apologize.
Well, get on that.
Yeah.
Guys, I have 42 hit points right now, so
No,
you
you
don't.
don't.
Oh, you know.
You have, let's see,
Future you has 42 hit
Yeah.
points.
as a rogue, you have
Thank you, Glenn.
9.
8 plus Constitution modifier per level. So what's your Constitution modifier? 1, I think.
Pongo pizza is the shit.
You have a Constitution. Yeah. So you're getting 9 hit points a level. So 9 times 3 is 27. So subtract 27 from that, and that's how many hit points you actually have.
Okay.
so wait. Oh,
One more. One,
So the answer is not a lot.
I have.
1, 2, 3.
I'm terrible with math. 14, 15.
I'm gonna fireball.
Yes. 15.
Sounds about right.
There's like a ledge up here, and from there, these goblins jump down. This one was already down. Jump down.
Graboids! I mean, goblins.
No, you're about right. These are the reasons that I left these goblins in this room. Because they're grabby.
They're handsy.
And you hear one of them say, "Forget the trap, just attack." In Goblin, anyway, who seeks Goblin.
I don't
hear
know
it.
what she does.
We hear it. Like, oh shit.
You might not live long enough to tell anybody, though.
Yeah, right.
Can I tell which one said that?
Where's the big one? This one, who's actually looks like a hobgoblin. Than a goblin.
Hob?
He's a hobble? Gobble? 12. What's your armor class?
She's got a pretty good armor class. Down, middle left of the page.
16.
Okay. One arrow misses you. That arrow misses you. And that one misses you. Okay. Just
Totally
Matrixing
you
that
Neo
shit.
the shit out of that.
Totally out, not game related, babe. I forgot to tell Addison that we could talk.
uh-oh.
Sorry.
This guy shoots you, and you get, let's see, 18 plus. Yeah, that's a 24. That's going to hit you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah, 24.
But it's not a crit.
It's not a crit. No, that'd be
Yeah.
10 over.
Yeah.
But it also says deadly.
It'd have to be a
It
crit.
has to be a crit
Right,
to get the
okay,
deadly.
to get the
Yeah.
deadly. Okay. So it does. Oh, it's a club he throws at you.
The fuck?
Was he fucking Daredevil? Like,
No, he's got the club that he's shooting from the bow.
Yeah. Well, he
Oh my
jumps
God.
on, runs over
It's actually just a large
to
Cheeto.
here, and throws a club at you. I rolled a 1 for damage, and it says 1d6 minus 1, so it does no damage to you.
Yes.
But it does hit you.
but it irritates the shit out of you.
What the fuck?
Who throws a shoe? I mean, really?
Almost hit me!
Because it was a club foot.
Thank you,
Oh!
Thank you, Jesus.
No, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one.
No.
It was. I'm sorry, that was a short bow.
No text backsies.
It was a short bow, and it did. It actually was
He threw the whole short branch.
8 plus 18, so it was 26 to hit.
That would be a crit.
That
So
would
it's
be
a deadly.
You done fucked up everyone.
Sorry, it does 1 piercing damage and 5 deadly damage.
Okay.
So
I
that's
thought I had my beer. I thought I
6
had
damage
beer.
altogether.
How
What
does
is-
it only do 1 piercing? You gotta double the dice and then add the d8.
Beer anyway.
Oh, because it's a crit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm not trying to kill you, but
You are totally
Okay, so
kidding me.
that does 6 piercing.
plus, what was it, 5? So 11 total damage to you?
I have 1 health left. No, I have
I
4
was saying, you
health
should have
left.
4 health left,
I
because
have
math.
4 health left. Shut up! For some reason, I thought I had 12 for a second.
Okay. And then there's one more. This one right here. What does she want to do?
Luckily, I'm playing the cleric this game.
Does. I don't think that does any damage though.
So what's the difference between deadly and piercing? Doesn't matter.
Piercing is a type of damage.
Well, yeah.
Deadly is a trait on a weapon.
Right.
Always the difference.
Target's one.
The type of damage only matters if you have resistance to piercing.
Which you don't.
Okay, guys, I'm really hurt over here.
You're like,
Okay.
You're doing great!
This one over here does something with their hands and
Latu.
puts it towards you
Raka.
and does it's a ranged touch attack. So it is 16 plus.
This hits me
See ya.
too. I'm dead. Well, it's been
no,
fun.
you'd be dying.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, he's hitting me with this other
Right.
spell.
Blind.
You'd be dying. Not dead.
Okay, so 16.
She's not dead yet.
Okay, so that's gonna hit you. Roll
I think I'll go for a walk.
either acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobat. I can pick.
Yes.
Mhm.
Totally gonna be acrobatics.
You chose
I
wrong.
got a 9. Well, no,
9.
because if it was athletics, I'd be at a 4.
9
3.
is not high enough.
Yeah, no.
So you are tangled up in some sticky stuff.
Sticky icky.
Goblins.
Some sticky icky.
Gross.
Goblins are known, man.
You are
You just got attacked by Goblin North.
So now you are entangled in a bunch of twine, twigs and stuff. vine.
And I don't take damage.
A vine covered in
Goblins,
sticky
swinging
sap
berries.
appears in thin air and wraps around you, your hands and feet and legs, and lashing, blah, 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 blah. You are entangled until you can safely...
You've been trapped.
Sweet.
Yes,
It's
you are
dark.
immobile.
Can you sense yourself?
Can I
Because you're
what?
trapped.
Can I, what?
Trapped.
Says you get trap sense.
Oh, ha! This is fun.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. No, you're not.
I think it has to. I think actually you have to do that on your own turn, not the.
What? Sorry.
To
What
try
were
to
you gonna
try to break the entanglement.
do? Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be.
Sorry, yeah. You're entangled by the hitting of it. If you want to try to break it on your turn, you have to try to do that. I'm sorry. Right.
Okay.
Miss Ray.
So, but I didn't take damage from that, right?
No.
Cool. So I'll sit here with my 4 hit points wrapped up in this vine and be like,
Entangled is 2 points.
this is going really well, guys.
And then this one hides behind another, ducks down and hides.
Okay.
Up next is Freak.
Hey, you walked through it.
Wasn't expecting that.
Got that.
Nosferatu.
Where's the pointer, laser pointer thing here? Does this one work?
They all
Yeah,
work.
they work now. Okay, yeah.
Geek the caster.
Oh yeah. How far is my range from myself to the caster? Can I see him? He's the one that fired the
5, 10, 15, 45 or 45 to 50 feet.
45, 50 feet.
And ducking.
And ducking. But it doesn't matter because I attack squares.
Okay.
Good thinking.
I'm gonna toss a bomb at him.
Okay. A lava bomb.
I'm a lava bomb. Bomba llama.
Lava lava ding dong.
Blah 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 blah.
That's 14.
Against
Touch attack.
touch attack.
Can you see bomb in Spain?
That will.
Bomba. Yes, just add an 8 at the end.
That will miss.
Okay, but it still hits the hex he's in.
Uh-huh.
What is
I don't
it?
answer to him.
Okay. One splash.
Unfortunately,
And he
that's
is on
true.
fire.
Even if you
I have
miss,
no control over
What's
this.
that?
Yeah,
if you
you
miss,
really,
you're on
you
fire.
don't, you
That
don't,
is- that is the problem.
He does take fire damage, right?
you don't
From
know
splash.
me.
Is he on fire if he takes that splash damage?
If you take splash damage, they don't take persistent damage.
Right.
They just take the splash damage.
Alright,
If you hit them directly,
then they go.
Then they-
Okay, alright.
Then they're on fire.
Alright.
All the shite is on them.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna do that again.
Okay.
That is a 23.
That will hit.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Let's see here.
If they didn't have cover, they would have critically hit.
Well, that means he takes 6 damage. And he has got 1 damage ongoing.
Okay.
He is now on fire and no longer is under cover. Well, I would say you can see him.
don't you
They
have?
are well lit.
I thought you had. Do you have a thing that negates cover for throwing bombs? One of your feats?
That might be on 4th level.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. I like. Oh, quick bomber. No.
No, quick bomb doesn't do that. Okay.
I will then step out of the way, sidestep so that I do not get hit by attacks. Being shot at is not a good thing. I'm going for the caster, y'all.
Hey, when y'all somebody gets a chance, I could use a little help over here too.
You're doing fine.
Working on it.
Hide behind that air.
You were doing real good up until you weren't.
Okay. Back to the top. Ellery.
All right. I'm going to change my hunt target to the caster.
Hunt target.
Yes. Hunt with a H. And then I'm going to attempt to shoot the caster.
The caster.
The caster.
What's your range for shooting 50, right?
With the longbow.
Like 120.
120,
His
yeah.
volley of 50 means he takes -2 to attacks to anything within 50 feet of him.
Which I forgot about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's volley 50. I think there's
You're
50
right at
feet.
50. Yes,
Hey, there's a thing there!
Yeah,
Goddamn tall people.
knew that was going to happen eventually.
They did it earlier.
when I first
got here, so that's a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay,
Burn late.
that's going to be 2 damage.
2 damage.
It's just the straight D8. There's no.
There's no plus?
Yeah, you don't get
Plus.
any bonuses.
You don't add your
for-
dex to that.
If you have it, no. If you have a composite bow, you get half your strength modifier added to it.
I thought if it was, it's
Pretty lame.
Yeah, I don't.
That's how I guess they're balancing ranged combat now. Is that since you're at range and less at risk of taking damage, you don't get the extra bonuses onto your damage. It's just the flat missile damage.
That's still pretty lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 damage. I'm going to shoot again at the caster.
I don't like that at all.
And that's a 1.
a 1?
Yep.
So you don't hit.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks for that.
Well, I thought I should make that clear that you don't hit
Yeah, that is a critical failure.
on more ways than one.
No,
Alright.
just one.
No, just
Just the one way.
Just the one way. I don't think there are different ways.
Don't get too far into it, man.
Okay, well, that's your turn. Okay, Freya. For your Freya.
I do want to point out that actually I never got to make my move that I had readied from when the boulders to
The
drop.
boulders
Because the
didn't
boulders
drop.
didn't drop.
Oh, they hadn't? I thought
No.
they did.
No.
It's usually around like.
Oh, that's right, because he said forget
11
the
and
boulders.
14.
He said. Testicles joke. I'm going to. How far away is Pip from me?
Pip. If you go where you're at, it would be 10, 20, maybe 30 feet or so, and you can't really see him. You don't have line of sight. You'd have to move. You'd have to move up.
I understand that. I needed to know how far I would need to move. Alright, I'm going to move up 20 feet.
Okay, how are you gonna move?
I'm going to go in and then try to skirt along the wall, I guess.
You're gonna come right to here. You're gonna step to the door. I guess.
Yes.
This goblin pulls the rope.
I thought they said to ignore not to pull the rope and just attack.
That's what the man said.
That's what the man says.
Secondly, can he do that on his turn? Like on.
If he
on
had a ready
his
to
turn?
If he had a
action,
ready to
he
action.
It's a reaction.
But
Did he take any
did
other
he take a
actions
ready-
during the turn?
Did he take a ready? Yeah.
He did not do anything.
So there you go. Rocks fall.
Rocks fall. In a 10 foot by 10 foot area.
Boulders and see what all those numbers are about.
But now you can take your ready to action.
No, because the round has already ended, so I can't.
Let's see. You take. It's not that bad.
Yeah, you just die.
You just die. Yeah, you just die a little bit.
Says the DM takes 1d4 damage. How does that work?
We'll find out in a minute.
You can do a reflex.
We're about to go to break.
Do a reflex save. Reflex.
Go break his arms.
Come back and there's a new DM there.
5.
5. Well, you didn't pass.
Oh, dang it.
Either 13 or better to half the damage.
5 is 13 or better.
I don't think so. So it's well, this is not a critical failure because that would have doubled the damage. It's 8 points of damage.
That's still pretty terrible. I mean, that's basically half my hit points.
Okay, you can continue your movement if you want.
I can only move 20 feet, which is why I told you to move 20 feet.
Okay.
Now what?
Um,
Let's see. There.
Master
You're within.
I can't. It's a 3-action.
Oh, it's a 3-action cast.
I just used an action. I will. I'm going to cast Sanctuary on the rogue.
Yay.
And that's what?
So basically, anybody who wants to attack her must make a will saving throw against my spell DC,
Okay.
or they can't.
Okay.
And then I'm going to call out to her and be like, if you don't want to die, come back to me, as I'm like rubbing my head.
Well, I can't really do much about that right this moment.
Do your best.
Okay. Little man.
Alright,
Now you should run in and do a thing.
I'm just gonna walk on in there.
Yeah, there's a better laser.
Yeah.
Give the man the.
The good.
Give him a proper laser.
Oh, it's long.
How far
Does it
in?
vibrate?
It's because it's black.
That's 10 feet.
That's not.
Alright, so I got 15 more to go. Can I get up
God,
and
Jesus.
turn it anywhere?
Mm,
Just 10
My eyes.
10 apiece.
it's the first diagonal was only 5, but then the second one.
Do they do that in
10.
Pathfinder too?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 5, then it's 10,
And it's 10.
then it's 5.
So I got one more.
And then it's
now.
So it's 5, 15, 20, 30.
So that's it.
It's 25.
No, that sucks.
You can get there because that would be another 5 points.
What about charging? Can he take his second action to make a charge attack?
So,
Charging is.
there are special feats that allow you to do things like that. I think fighters and stuff get things like that. Otherwise, charge is now a property of certain weapons that allow you to get a bonus to damage if you've moved at least 10 feet in the round.
Yes. It's different.
Okay.
Rage.
So he
has
can't-
traits of con.
So
You
if you
can't
want
make
to
a
do
move and attack at the
if
end
you
of
want
the
to do
round.
like an attack move kind of
Now you can still move.
maneuver, it's
Do a
like a
second
feat.
move,
type thing you have to
Okay.
take as a class.
and then do one action.
Okay, yeah, I'll move up to there and I'll attack.
This guy, the guy that dropped
Yeah,
with the rope.
yeah, the one right there.
Beat him
Yeah.
senseless.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick a good lob at his head. And try to cut it open like a butterfly shrimp.
You have a great sword.
Not like that, I'm going to.
I like
that
shrimp.
is 8
It's a
I haven't had shrimp in a long time.
and
Shrimp.
11.
Shrimp.
11 will no hit.
What the hell? Alright.
Shrimps can't be.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
so
right,
yeah,
okay.
what you're doing,
Shrimp
it's
can be-
actually,
Shrimp
Uh,
combo.
because of your thing, you're actually doing 4 extra damage when you rage, so you'd be doing 2d6 plus 7 if you were raging.
But rage is another action.
Yeah, but rage takes an action as well.
Okay.
So next
You
time,
also-
rage and then attack.
When you don't have to
Unleash
move
the fury.
twice.
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't have to move twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Pip, you're up, and you're tangled.
Literally.
Entangled.
I'm just gonna start slashing.
Make your acrobatics check.
Take your
Oh,
acrobatics.
I get an acrobatics check.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you punch the,
No.
the webs in
Alright.
it'll get
Punch,
knocked
kick.
out.
It's all in the web.
Well, that's a crit fail.
Was it? Is it really a crit fail?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There actually is. I don't think there's anything. Critical success. Failures. No additional effect. Okay, so you're still entangled.
All
That
right.
was-
Second action, same as the first.
I can
Yes,
do
you
another
can do
acrobatics
another
check.
check.
You have 3 actions, so you can do it up to 3 times.
That
Re-
one
that seems
is
kinda-
a 14.
That's.
What does it say? What does it say in the spell? Does it say that she just gets one
It's
attack?
against. It's against the. It doesn't say you can only have one. It says the target is entangled. It can attempt an acrobatics or athlete's check against your spell DC to remove the entangled condition.
So that would be an action. I would assume that means that it's an action to make the check.
No, it's a check. It's not an action.
Yeah, it's
Well-
not,
Or, well, it's a skill. It's a
A skill check
skill
is an
check
action,
is an
isn't it?
Right.
potentially. Let me look under acrobatics and athletics and see if there's something. So would it be considered?
Well, I just broke it.
That happens a lot.
It could be considered a break grapple or an escape, probably. So escape is an acrobatics thing. When trying to escape from restraints or a creature's
Y'all are
grapple,
going way-
attempt an acrobatics
I don't-
check. If you are tied up by a creature, the escape DC is a creature's thievery DC. If you're restrained by manacles or some other device, the DC is based on the type of restraint. So I would say it would be the escape action.
Yes.
Critical failure, you don't escape, and you take -2 circumstance penalty to acrobatics checks to escape until the end of your current turn. So you can continue to try, but since you crit fail, you're at -2 on all your your checks for the turn.
Okay, so that would have been a 12 instead of a 14.
It wouldn't have passed anyways.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Because it's
try a
against the
third time.
creature's spell DC.
Okay. That one is a lot better. I like these dice. Okay, 23.
With the -2.
Oh, 21.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it
still
passes,
okay.
but I'm not. That's 3 checks in.
She has 3 actions.
Okay.
And on her last action, she escapes the tangle.
Yeah.
The web. And she's done. She can't do anything else.
Yep.
So I can't try to move
Because
back
it's
or-
not a save. A save typically only happens once per round, whereas
Right.
this is
An action.
this is literally just trying to break out of a freaking net. There's no
Yeah.
reason why you can't sit there and struggle.
And it took her 6 seconds to pull it off, but she got out.
Yeah.
So I can't actually try to get back to you yet. I just have to try and wait there and hope that you'll come and rescue me at some point.
Correct.
Rescue me.
Okay.
Take me in your arms, rescue me.
Who's next in initiative?
The goblins.
Incoming second web.
Oh God, now I'm gonna die.
He takes them. Go. Oh, wait.
Well,
No, I'm totally gonna
you're
die.
saying that
You have
anyone,
sanctuary on you.
anybody who
Oh.
wants to attack has to go against your will first. Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Alright, well
an
then I'm
area
good.
effect attack.
But they don't.
If they want to attack her. If they want to attack somebody else, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
But then you're supposed to crap.
So they got to be a DC 15 will check in order to attack her. If they succeed, they can attack. If they fail, then they waste the action in the attempt. If they crit fail, not only do they waste the action, but they cannot attempt to attack her for the duration of the sanctuary ever again.
And also remember, the caster is still on fire.
Okay, so 15 plus will.
Oh, you got it.
Is there-
Well, yeah, if you rolled a 15, then you passed.
Will plus 0. Okay.
No, yeah, because they could have had a
They
negative.
could add a negative. Okay, so there's a. Okay, so the warriors are still shooting arrows, and they get. So they can't attack her. So this one.
Well, one of them can attack.
One of them can attack her.
The good news is you're not flat-footed.
Okay, 10 plus.
That's a good start.
That's their bows. Plus 6, so 16 to hit.
That's exactly my
That
armor class.
That is exactly my armor class. I
So
don't
it
know.
is.
It does 1 piercing,
Okay.
and he's going to do it again. Is that for each action, each attempt to attack, or just the one time they have to check?
I believe it's.
Because if they want to attack a second time,
I imagine it would be once per round.
I think you're right, but I will double check.
20.
It doesn't matter because above 15, you're good.
No, 22 minus 5 is 17, so
Oh.
that's still hit. Okay.
Um,
Because the second one is at a minus 5.
oh, I see what you're saying.
That's-
The creature can attempt its attack and any other attacks against the target this turn.
okay.
Mm.
That's another 5 points of damage.
Oh, I'm dead.
Well,
No, you're
you're
dying.
dying.
You're dying, so you fall.
You're not dead, you're dying.
And then you hear him gleefully says, I got one! I got one! And goblin, as you're laying dying.
I have -2.
Okay. Arrows coming at
Alright,
you.
hold on. Since this just happened, getting knocked out. When you're reduced to 0 hit points, you get knocked out. When this happens, you are subject to the following effects. You fall unconscious, gaining the unconscious condition. You immediately move your initiative position to directly before the creature or effect that reduced you to 0 hit points.
Okay, she is.
If the attack was lethal, you gain the dying 1 condition. If you already had the dying condition, instead increase your dying condition by 1. If the attack was a critical hit, you gain the dying
It
2
wasn't.
condition. It was a critical hit?
It was not.
Oh. If the attack was non-lethal, you do not gain the dying condition.
Cool.
If your dying condition reaches 4 or greater, you die. Recovery saving throws. When you're unconscious, at the start of each of your turns, you attempt a special fortitude saving throw to regain consciousness, called a recovery saving throw. The DM sets the DC of your recovery saving throw when you're knocked out. The DC equals the DC of the spell or ability that dropped you plus your current dying value. If damage that reduced you to 0 hit points came from something that doesn't have a DC, such as an attack roll, use the attacker's class DC. Though a class DC usually includes the key ability modifier for a character's class, the GM might sometimes decide a different ability score is appropriate. For example, Wizard's class DC usually uses intelligence, but if he knocks someone out with his staff, the DC might use strength or dexterity. For monsters, the GM will use a high difficulty skill DC of the monster's level. So whatever their highest skill modifier is.
That's what I have to roll in order to get out of.
Yeah, always use the recovery DC determined at the time you were knocked out. If you're at 0 hit points, once you make, well, we'll get to that once we have to make the roll. But
Okay, so now we set. Okay, her DC to.
is whatever its high skill DC is.
Okay, so athletics. Stealth is its highest, but I'm not. That's stupid.
I don't know.
Well, stealth
Well,
wouldn't
it
stealth
says-
wouldn't be how it attacked, right?
Right.
So the thing that knocked her out was an arrow shot.
Right.
So
So
what's its attack modifier for the arrow?
plus 6.
So 16
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems
appropriate.
right to me. That seems appropriate to me.
Right.
Cool.
So
I have to get a 16 or better.
Right.
And that's fortitude,
On a
right?
fortitude save.
yes, to regain cover, or someone can revive you.
That's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah. I
And if you
think
fail, you get a dying condition.
I think it makes recovering from dying without healing really difficult.
Yeah.
But
But if you get a crit success,
It kind of ought to be.
sure.
Because, normally if you're unconscious and bleeding out and nobody does anything, you just kind of...
you die.
Well,
Die.
like 5e allows you to at least stabilize at 0 and not bleed out completely,
Right.
even if you don't get back into the fight.
But most people, if they're to that point, like in reality, you don't just stabilize by yourself. It usually takes somebody applying pressure.
I'm
and,
just in a coma for eternity until someone, heals
Yeah.
me for 1 hit point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Now, the way I read it also was that if the damage you take is non-lethal, you're not unconscious. You get your hit points.
No,
you
you're
are
unconscious,
but you're
but you're
not
not
dying.
You're not dying, right?
yeah.
So someone can actually, one of your own guys can walk up to you and say, "I'm just going to punch her, and it's non-lethal, so now they're not dying anymore."
No.
No, because they've already got
She
the
already
dying
has the dying
Okay.
condition. But
what
you
could
could
do is if
walk
they
up to
drop down to
somebody.
1 hit point and you're like, crap, someone's going to attack them soon and put them in the dying condition, you could just walk up and be like, sucker punch, knock them unconscious, and now they're unconscious without the dying condition.
Well, I mean, somebody could still attack them after that.
True, yeah.
But what it allows you to do is it allows you to knock someone out without killing them.
Yeah. If I want to take someone hostage,
Right.
Okay. There you go. First person dies.
well, dying.
Dying. Okay.
Dying.
Now, next the goblin attacks.
Technically
Arrows
not
at you.
Technically not dying.
Is that me or Jeremy?
Yeah, Jeremy.
I don't have a dying
18.
condition.
You do have a dying
Uh,
It's a non-lethal.
Yeah, it's 15.
There's an arrow.
He
It's
shot you
lethal.
with an arrow. It's lethal.
Oh, so,
You're,
It's
you're
lethal.
dying.
so it's 16 plus
5
1 because I
points
have
of
1
piercing.
dying. So
Yeah.
Yes.
where do I mark that?
I'll just write it down somewhere.
You don't really need to
I
mark
got
it,
you
just
to learn
remember.
more about it.
Second arrow.
Every time I
18
fail, I
minus
get
5.
another.
13 will not hit, will it?
Yes.
Okay. And then they duck down.
Woo.
And then the third one is this one right here. He's just going to try to stab you. Pulls out a dog slicer.
Dog slicer.
It's a wicked knife.
16. Will that hit?
You got it from Peter.
Yes.
Alright. And that is a 3 slashing damage. And he'll swing at you again. Just
Also, if you're raging, you have temporary hit points to soak some of this up.
nope, that's not gonna hit.
Commits to raging.
Okay, that's 3 warriors. Now, next up is the goblin, the caster in the back, who is
On fire.
going to take one action to try to
That was
put
one of the
themselves
things
on
I was trying
fire. Actually, they take 1 point, so actually there
Yeah,
is.
and then he can take an action to.
That's 8 is 7.
Also has an arrow in them.
Yes. And what do I gotta roll it against? It's to put it out. I can't remember.
I don't think you have to. I think you just have to take the action and you
Take
just
the action to
put
put
it out.
the okay. So they take an action to put themselves out. They drop, stop, and roll, whatever.
Okay.
Gets up and actually that takes 2 actions. So
That means their spell casting options are limited.
yes, I want to make sure that
That is going perfect.
Excellent. Burdenating the casters.
somatic and verbal.
Finish
So there are
action,
2 actions.
Dragonborn,
Okay, so we can't do that.
Dragonborn Fire Sorcerer, Column Direct Target. With a strength of 18, so you can have that big beefy arm. And consummate peas.
Consummate.
Somebody needs to ready their attack for when he starts casting a spell.
To interrupt.
Because yeah, you can if you damage somebody, if you take damage while casting a spell.
You have to make a concentration check.
No.
No.
If you take so basically it can only if you take damage from a reaction triggered by the result of you casting or concentrating on a spell, then if you take damage equal to or greater than your level, spell lost.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, spell lost actions.
What
you-
the fuck?
Spell slot gone.
That's hateful.
So
That's super
these are
hateful.
probably like level 1 or 2 monsters, meaning you hit them, that spell's gone.
Well, I'm going right after him, so yeah.
Well, you got to ready the action though, because it has to be as a result of a reaction to the cast.
Right.
It can't just be
Yeah,
oh, I
actually,
hit them.
you can't do it after they're done.
Oh, you have to do
Yeah.
it while they're casting. Okay. So she will cast.
And that may mean that you have to move your order and initiative.
Yeah, I'd have to delay things.
You can just ready the action. Say I'm readying an action for when he begins casting a spell.
Right, because you lose it when it comes back to you, not at the when it goes back to the top of the
Yeah,
initiative.
yeah.
Grease. 4 contiguous courses. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, that works.
He cast Fireball, so help me God.
Shit.
4 contiguous.
You cast
fire
fireball and
squares.
fucking leave it.
Yeah, we're done.
Bitch, your basement can fucking
Go fucking
deal
done.
with it.
Okay. 5, 10. Okay, so this area right here.
So just fuck the dead girl, basically.
Yeah, this area right, this square right here, is greasy.
It's
Greasy?
greasy.
Yes,
Okay.
With the mud.
it's casted grease. So any target on the area,
Wait.
each creature within the area must attempt an acrobatics check, which he did, or dying. Creatures later entering the square within the area must attempt an acrobatics check and to balance. Creature that takes a step that doesn't have to balance. Okay. If you want to move into the area, you have to make an acrobatics check. That's all.
Okay.
Or move out of the area, or any of that stuff.
Okay.
Okay. And then this guy is going to pound on Little Man. He
Is that
is.
code for something?
Sweet.
Yes.
What happens if
Pound
I'm
on
on
little man.
fire?
Like you're on fire?
Horse
Apparently
chopper.
I'm on fire right now.
How are you on fire?
He said it was a fireball. I don't know.
No.
No.
It's not a
Hey,
fireball.
stop half listening to what's going on.
I was sorry.
18 was
Yeah,
that's
most
correct.
That's not a thing that happened.
Commando.
Cool. I heard fireball.
Oh, it's got reach too. That's cool. 1d8 plus 1. So 7 points of damage.
Damn.
And the
Ow.
goblins are done.
Put on nipple clips. Ow.
And then the
Painful.
goblin warriors are CR zeros, and then the pirates are CR 1, and the commanders are
These
CR
things
1.
are totally not CR zeros and CR ones.
So,
They really are not.
Wreck, you're up.
All right.
Freak.
Rotate it.
And this guy does look different than the rest.
Rotate it.
Rotate it. Toe rate it.
Rotate your owl.
All right. I have a stupid idea.
There are no stupid ideas.
The stupider the better.
Only stupid ideas.
Follow me on this.
Okay.
What if I were to use a healing potion
Uh-huh.
as a grenade weapon? And
Doesn't
throw
work.
it.
Doesn't work that way.
Damn it!
Gotta go in the
It's
mouth.
not. Yeah, it's not a bomb.
What if I call it shot in the mouth?
It doesn't.
Dude, they do this all the time at the hibachi grill when they like toss you the shrimp.
But if you're unconscious, you can't catch.
Maybe he's a really good shot.
If she
Spoiler
passed
alert,
her
I'm
without
not.
If you
over-
roll a natural 20, I will allow it.
Otherwise, you waste a potion.
Yeah. Otherwise, it shatters.
Sometimes
If you roll
You
a
gotta
1,
go with
it
the
goes
Hail
in the
Mary.
goblin's mouth.
Here comes a super guy.
Interception.
he becomes very surprised.
Turns into a mogwai.
Yeah, right?
Wrong one.
That is much responsibility.
Reverse gremlins.
That's true.
All right, well,
Yeah, wouldn't that have sucked if that's all you had to do was like something opposite of that to turn right back into mogwai? Oh, that was easy.
Just stop eating. Right.
Yeah.
Or feed him after midnight again.
Yeah. Although they ate a lot after midnight. in
That's
the
true.
movie, So we
That's
know
true.
that's not the case.
it's always after midnight somewhere.
That's right.
This is true.
If I move up to give a potion to the little man here, are you still be able to heal the other guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be heroic for a second here.
What?
I'm gonna move 5. What is it? However many?
Those things are bright as fuck.
Yeah, they are.
5, 10, 13, 20,
I wasn't
25,
trying to blind
30.
you earlier. I apologize.
30?
You got me right in the fucking eye.
It's 30. It's 30 feet to.
My world was purple for about a half second.
25 is good to hear.
I was just seeing
What's
what the
25?
range
Point-
was.
Point
Barely
where you're at
coming
for
here.
25 and rotate the map so I can see your
Yeah,
finger.
rotate the owl again.
You're there, so it's 5, 10, 15,
20.
You gotta go through the grease.
25.
Ah,
and you're going to grease. If you have a higher acrobatics, you might be fine.
Grease is
How do you know what acrobatics is?
I don't know. You're a goblin.
Yeah, I
You assuming it's
imagine-
not my race?
I imagine your dex is high, so therefore your acrobatics should be good. You might be able to use the grease to your advantage.
That's right. Just
Like if I roll 2 shifts
Risky
and a slide.
Yeah, risky business that shit.
yeah.
We're doing this.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm gonna
dun.
be like slip and slide. Go.
And he stops like right with the.
Move me up to.
In theory, since you're going with the healing potion, you could be risky business and cocktailing this at the same time.
There you go.
I'm gonna Tom Cruise this shit.
No, that's
One more.
15. Where do you want to go here?
Rescue me, Tom Cruise, this
Okay.
guy.
What do I have to roll to get to that grease?
Goose.
Acrobatics.
Goose.
Acrobatics?
Go for it.
All right, acrobatics.
Better than 15?
No.
You rolled a 1, didn't you?
So
Holy
I
holy
slip
shit.
and I slide.
Wait,
And
is it a
fuck-
critical failure?
Flat on your ass.
That was a 7. Alright, damn.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Here's what I argue. I do fall. I am prone. However, I am still where I'm at, and I'm still able to hand him a potion.
Objects in motion tend to stay in motion until forces act upon them. If he was at velocity,
Sure.
Because, I mean,
he gets there, he's just on his ass.
yeah.
It says you have to maintain balance. What is balance? Does that mean you fall?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on his ass.
I don't have to be on my feet to offer
To
you
travel on a slick surface.
No, what I'm saying is,
Vis-a-vis slip and
because he
slide.
failed, he loses his balance? Does that mean he automatically falls?
That's what balance means.
I would assume that he has fallen prone.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just check the-
Given what the spell do
Right.
and like the
I don't know what else losing balance would indicate.
Okay, so you fell.
So that's one action.
Okay, moving in. Yes.
Second action, have a drink.
Okay.
But are you close enough now with which to hand it to him?
Yeah, he's diagonally one square.
Okay.
awesome.
Drink this.
Do I gotta take an action to drink that?
Yes. You have to wait till your next turn.
Oh damn.
You also have to have a free hand to accept it. Were you wielding the sword?
Yeah, he's wielding a two-handed sword, but it's not hard to just go.
He's strong enough to hold it.
Yeah.
I'm just clarifying that you have to have a
No, I
free
get you.
hand.
He doesn't have a chain gauntlet, right?
Right. He's not like got one arm cuffed behind his back, like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Like.
But it's a two-handed weapon.
Right. But he's not wielding the weapon at the
As
same
long as you
time.
have the strength to hold it with one hand, sure.
He do.
Okay.
He'd be alright.
Third action, I go full defensive. I don't know if that's the thing or
I
not.
don't know. if that's
No. It's actually, there is something called aid. You could aid him in his defense or something.
Yeah, you can aid people in all sorts of things.
What is that other one?
Oh, you're right.
Remember that we all have hero points as well?
What are those hero points?
Yes,
for?
you have 20 hero points each.
Spending one hero point allows you to stave off death. Anytime you gain the dying condition or your dying condition increases severity, you can spend one hero point to lose the dying condition entirely. Even if the increase in the dying condition would otherwise cause you to die. If you have 0 hit points, you go to 1 hit point. Spending 2 hero points allows you to re-roll a d20 roll, taking the best result. Spending 3 hero points allows you to act 1 extra time in an encounter.
I have 1 hero point.
You might want to use it to stabilize yourself.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Can I
Let's
use
see.
it after my check, or do I have to use it before my check?
You use it whenever the hell you want.
You can take cover if you want. You
Sure.
can say you do have cover.
All right. Well, then I'll say I have cover.
It's not going to give you additional
No, I
cover
mean
though.
that's a saving
Okay,
throw.
that's fine. I'll still take
Well, you
whatever.
need to save.
And
It's
isn't
plus
it?
2
stabilize
circumstance
yourself, you can
bonus.
use your hero point.
Yay! I like that. I'll take that.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You gain
Nope.
a
Take
plus
backs.
4.
Oh, okay. Okay, take backs.
Oh wait, no. Sorry. If,
No,
you,
no,
if
that's-
you would gain a plus 2 circumstance bonus to AC and reflex saves, you instead gain a plus 4. Okay, so anything that would be attacking you from here, like this,
Like that guy.
would give you cover. Anyone from over here, though, you would only
You
get
only
a
have
plus 2.
yeah.
Okay. I'll still take that.
Yeah, there's no like fighting defensively or like anything like that.
No
Like, take-
doge action.
Yeah,
Raise a shield is about the only thing.
which requires you to have a shield.
Yeah, requires you to have a shield.
There's the rogue has the nimble dodge feat it can take at first level, which is a reaction it can use if it would be hit. You use your reaction to boost your armor class by 2, potentially negating
I
the hit.
really
Top
wish
of the
I'd
order.
done that now.
Round
Okay.
3.
I'm already hunting the caster. I will shoot at the caster once again. That's gonna miss with a 9 to hit.
Pew.
Shoot again. That's gonna miss. With great frustration, I shoot a 3rd time. And roll a 1.
Roll a 1.
Get the cat.
Remember
in the
that?
fight.
Remember you got your kitty cat.
Yeah, I know.
That's how he is. It we used to hunt,
With-
right?
Very little hit points. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't want that to die. He didn't try to heal the cat. Didn't the cat get healed?
No,
when
no,
it
the
rested?
cat's fine.
It just has,
okay.
It just,
doesn't have a lot of
I don't want to put it at risk.
Okay, Freya, you are up.
Alright.
Baxter only has 10 hit points.
I'm going to
Clear.
what's the range of the barbarian from me? How far away?
What barbarian?
Little man.
Little man, he is at least 10 feet away from me. Well, he's 15 feet away from me.
I'm going to take the 3 action cast of the heal spell
So many actions.
to
Shit. You said it's a free action cast?
3 action.
Oh, 3 action.
Cast
Sorry.
of the heal
I was
spell
like, that'd be cool. Free action.
to basically heal any friendly targets within a 30-foot burst of me, 30-foot aura of me.
That would be
That would include anybody. That would include him.
Yeah.
And him.
even her.
Even her.
Right.
So wait.
All of you heal 10 hit points.
So even if I'm down,
Doesn't matter. You're
Yeah.
healing. 10 hit
Especially
points.
if you're down.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go from 0 to 10.
However, you still have the dying 1 condition for right now.
okay.
But
No?
at the,
Well,
yes.
in her turn,
At
it
the
would
start
go
of her
up,
turn,
right?
it would go down 1.
Okay, so I'm up.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
No.
yet.
At the start of your turn, your eyes
And
will
that
snap
is
open.
that is my whole turn.
Okay.
That
That was
does
very-
suck though. That you can. It takes all 3.
Yeah, it does.
Because basically you have to stand still. You can't move. And
I
do
wonder
it.
if you can get like a feat to like quicken that or something.
I'm not
Not
sure.
magic it, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. I think the sorcerer is the only one who can do that, but maybe.
So.
I have a feat that allows me to add an action to heal more, but obviously that doesn't work with the 3 action version.
The pizza died.
It rolled 1 on its save
What's
versus.
in here?
I don't know.
Where's the dying
Cheese
condition again?
pizza.
Remember what page it is?
For what?
Dying.
It was like it's
Playing
under
the
the
game.
playing the game.
Yeah. Flat checks, damage, hit points, immunities. At death's door. There we go. Dying.
Death is Andrew's door.
Okay, we're waiting on Jeremy.
Is it Jeremy's little man's turn?
Man's turn.
Well, let's see. He just got healed for 10, which was
He was at 3, now he's at 13.
okay. So I'm going to take his turn for him.
Go ahead.
He rages, giving him 4 temporary hit points,
Yay!
Yay for rage.
and then that's his first action. Is he in melee range of an enemy?
2 enemies.
Then he is going to. Oh, here comes.
He can choose which ones he wants.
I was about to act for you. First off, you got healed for 10 hit points. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And then I also made you rage,
Oh, okay.
so you've got 4 temporary hit
Against the
points as well.
goblins, not the machine.
Yeah, and
4.
so you've got 2 more actions for the turn. I don't know if you want to. You've got 2 goblins in front of you if you want to attack them.
Alright, I'm raging, so
Caging him.
yeah, I'm gonna try to lob a head off
La-di-da.
on that guy.
All right, roll your d20 plus 3. 17 to hit on the goblin to his right, closest to you. Glenn.
17 to hit.
Yay.
The one closest.
This
to you.
one?
Yep.
Break him.
Okay.
Is that Cousin Tony? That's Cousin Tony.
2d6 plus 7.
Cousin
is
Tony.
the damage you're doing.
That will hit.
6,
Yes.
11,
Break his kneecaps.
Plus 7.
That's
18.
right.
18 damage.
18 damage. You cleave him in
So
twain.
goblins are a mafia now?
That's what that dude is built to
Pretty
do.
rough, though.
carnage.
Okay.
I'm gonna send him to swim with the
Might be
fishes.
heading out at break now.
Huh?
Might be heading out at break.
You feel alright?
My stomach just like flipped or something.
Oh.
I don't know. I'll be alright.
Sorry.
We can take you to the emergency
I
vet.
might.
You
What's
have
that?
We can take you to the emergency vet.
you have one more action.
I didn't mean actually flip.
Yeah, you could attack again, but
Oh,
you're gonna
sure.
get -5.
Did
on
he
your...
drink his potion first, or did
He
he?
did not.
Oh, you haven't drank the potion yet, so you can take the potion from Elvis as your last action to heal some more.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, where'd you put it while you? Whatever. I'm not gonna get into semantics. Well, because he used both hands to hit him, so he had to take in the.
It's.
He's got one.
I imagine Elvis
It's a whole
is sitting
nother
there
action.
with
They
an
don't happen
outstretched-
simultaneously.
Alright, so
You
what?
would get another 6 point. Let's see here.
1d6 or 1d8?
It's. I think it's 1d6.
When
He should roll it.
Oh, yeah, let him roll.
No, you roll or I roll?
You roll.
Oh, okay.
You're drinking.
You're good.
It's your luck. 5.
Yeah.
Better than Elvis's 3.
I got a 4, so yes.
Okay, so you are done. Now, Pip,
Yay.
we are going to deal with your dying condition. You are healed to 10,
Yes.
so you stop dying.
Yay.
But are you still unconscious?
No.
No.
She immediately
Right.
becomes conscious. She becomes conscious. She's at 1 hit point. She has the dying one condition, which will go away because at the start of her turn. However, she, as a result of having the dying condition at the beginning of her turn, she loses 1 action point. So you have 2 actions for the turn instead of 3.
So I have 1 hit point, or I have 10 hit points.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You have 10 hit points.
I was
Okay.
gonna say you should have 10. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Do you automatically gain consciousness, or do you have to roll to regain consciousness?
You don't have to roll
Why
it.
would
You roll, you
Ah.
regain consciousness, but it costs you one of
An
the
action.
actions.
Yeah, basically.
Right, because it says here, you're bleeding out, blah, blah. If you're dying, the recovery saving throw. If you have 1 hit point or more and are conscious, your dying condition decreases by 1.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not.
You're hold on, you're in a
I
totally
just-
different area than I was.
I just
Page
lose an action.
296.
Yeah, I know. But if you go back to the page before, it gives you all the stuff on recovery saves and what happens with reducing the dying condition. At the end of each of your turns, while you have at least 1 hit point and you're conscious, you reduce your dying. So actually, you're dying 1 for your turn. You only have 2 actions, and at the end of this turn, your dying 1 will be reduced to dying 0 and go away.
Okay.
So, yeah. So you have whatever. You have 2 actions. You're conscious, but you're on the ground, and you have 10 hit points.
Okay,
So
can
you
I-
would use an action to get up.
Okay, so you have an
Rotate
action.
Yeah,
Do that.
but use an action to get up.
Okay.
And
Get
then
up,
you have 1
stand
action
up.
left.
Okay. Roll.
One more Dr. Pepper.
No, I'm not gonna do that. She's standing in grease, so I'm trying to think if she should roll acrobatics to stand up.
Well, what does the spell say?
It says if a creature entering the square,
She's already in it.
so then I guess she wouldn't have to.
Trying to stand up in grease is kind of.
Well, that's what the spell say.
Yeah.
You're the DM.
Yeah, the grease. She's not moving into it, and if she just took if it says if you take a 5-foot step, you don't have to roll acrobatics.
And she should be able to
So
stand
then she
up.
should be able to stand up without.
Yeah, and
Cool.
because standing up from prone should just be a 5-foot step. At that works.
Right,
It should be as easy as a 5-foot step.
right.
Exactly.
Okay,
So you stand up.
stand up. And I have 1 more action. What do I have going on around me?
You have a slipped goblin in front of you, and then you have a priest or cleric to your left, and a stalagmite to your right. And
Can I use my action to help him up?
if you want to,
And that way
that's
he
called
has.
aid.
Well, that way he doesn't have to use his action to get up. He's already up.
Okay, let's see.
I mean, because I don't really have. I can't attack anybody, and there's nobody
It would
close enough to
be
me.
assist, not aid, I think. But
Assist.
Yeah.
If you want to lift them up, you have to
assist.
use.
An enemy is within your melee.
That's
Oh, I'm
different.
sorry. It would probably would be yeah, it'd be aid. Aid is a reaction, so it actually wouldn't use up your thing.
But he has to be able to.
Yeah, it would be so. The way you aid is you would actually wait till it's his turn. He tries to get up, and you aid him and get.
Okay. All right. Well, never mind then.
So, you still have your action for what you want to do. You could take a 5-foot step and not have to worry about slipping and falling. Or if there's something close to you, you could
Do I
attack
have
it.
line of sight with this guy, or is he still around?
You could
the
throw a
thing?
dagger.
Yeah.
He's got cover, but yeah.
Is that the guy that got split in half?
But this one, this one's dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
That one's
Well, never mind.
Yeah, he got split in half.
So I don't have line of sight to anybody else, do I?
Well, I mean, you can see this one.
I can see that one.
You can kind of see this one.
Well, let's see. What is my range for throwing it? Burb.
It's 10 feet.
10 feet range, so that guy's too far.
That's too far.
Well, you can throw it further range. You're just taking a -2 for every 10-foot range increment past the first.
So how far is he?
Like
15.
So
Okay.
take -2.
So take -2. I'll go ahead and throw a dagger at him.
Do it.
And I'm going to have a 15 to hit.
15 to hit -2, or is that
No.
Oh yeah, 15 to hit -2. Yeah, 13.
13? And then he's got cover, so that'd be No.
Don't hit. Okay. So I'm down 2 daggers because I haven't picked mine up yet. I have 8 of them.
Keep in mind that drawing another dagger, since you probably had 2 out, but now you're going to need to draw more. It takes an action to draw another dagger.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like you should be able to get like a dagger bandolier. You should be able to draw a dagger as easy or easier than drawing an arrow.
Well,
Because you don't have to knock it.
I understand what you're saying, but the idea is that a trained bowman, it's a one fluid motion. You're just doing this.
Yeah, a trained dagger thrower is the same deal,
Yeah,
with less precision required.
sure, I guess.
Okay. 13 won't hit you, will it?
No,
Not anymore. Okay.
like ever.
Yeah, AC's 15, so.
Don't you get plus to raging?
No,
Oh, I thought it was just regular.
no. He is temporary
How
points.
long am I raging for?
It's 4 rounds,
Okay.
at the end of which you're fatigued.
Well, the 14 hit you.
No.
Okay. His AC is 15.
AC is always one more than you need.
Okay. Then
Roll +1.
However, one thing I did realize, I thought about, because I don't think there's anything that says anything about it, because raging is an action, and it says you can't rage if you're fatigued, right? But you're not fatigued while you're raging. Oh, it says requirements, you can't be fatigued, rage, or wearing hair. I was like, as long as you just keep using an action once every, 3 or 4 rounds to just continue to rage, but no, you
Nah.
can't do that.
I don't think it works.
17
Yeah, that hits.
for 4 points. An arrow hits you for 4 points of damage.
So just take away your temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Now you're just angry.
He's already.
Yeah,
He's already.
And that's a critical miss. Yep, Goblin is done. Okay, this one's gonna move up.
You know what I think? Because we were talking last session about how it's weird that for standard attacks there's no critical miss entry for what happens to you. You know what I think I would want to house rule that is that if you critical miss on an attack, your turn ends. You can take no more
I can see.
actions that.
Okay, so the caster is being bold.
Bold?
Bold, yes, and walks up.
Bold? Walks up.
Walks up to you because you were throwing fire at him.
Oh.
It says,
he
"Oh.
wants to do that.
Oh, you like to play with fire? Reek, play with my fire. And does
Is that an invitation to...
burning ends.
Bring it. Bring it.
He's got resist fire. So
Exactly.
Which cousin's this one?
So it's a 15-foot cone, so actually it's going to affect all 3 of you.
you also have resist fire, actually.
No.
It's on the.
It's fine. Mhm.
So how much do we resist?
Prepare to receive his bad
Reflex
medicine.
saving throws,
Yeah,
everyone.
if anybody challenges your strength, you have to be like, fuck you. You know,
Come on, Peach.
I think you need to roll a reflex save.
I feel
Why,
like the top
who,
section
me?
is just the one.
Reflex saving throws.
Yeah, you pick up a dexterity.
That's not cool.
So what do we run? Roll
Reflex saving throw.
for everybody who's
No,
in it.
reflex.
well, just you two and Bethany.
I got a 12.
You fail.
Yay!
I got 10.
You fail.
What am I adding to it?
Reflex right there.
Okay, dirt.
18.
So, yeah, 18.
You pass. For half damage,
You will
so
take half of half
I'm sorry.
damage.
Go, little man.
Even though I have
Multiply the
resistance to- I
denominators.
have resistance to fire.
so
So you're gonna take half of whatever he.
So
Yeah.
so it's
You've got-
7. So
you've got resist 1.
I've got resist 1.
Yeah.
so you only resist 1 point.
And the barbarians is, I think it might be the same. I think it's half your level, but let me double check. Minimum of 1, obviously.
So you said 7 damage?
7.
Okay.
Ah,
You take 7 damage.
snap.
So
How
many damage did you take?
I took 6
This is
damage.
working
Okay.
really well for me.
Sometimes you get boned.
There's a new.
Sometimes you don't want to be. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Oh, raging resistance. So it's only while you're raging, but that's fine because you are right now. It's equal to your Constitution modifier.
Now would the grease catch on fire?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's oil.
nothing
It's
in the
oil.
rules about it, but
So
Is
you're,
the spell
you
save?
actually have resistance to bludgeoning and fire equal to your Constitution modifier, which is 2.
Yeah,
So you're reducing the damage. by
it just
2.
has creatures in the area. I mean,
Yeah, it would be it's enemies, it's everybody in the cone.
would it be?
No, I mean,
No,
like,
would it be
spell.
objects though?
He's talking about the
Because the
grease.
ground
where
is
they
the
catch
ground is
fire.
covered in grease.
I said,
I would say if it's in the area, yes. If the grease spell says this happens if it comes in contact with fire,
Grease
If-
doesn't say anything about if you.
then I would say nothing happens. Grease would have to
Yeah.
dictate
Like I said, if
what
you
happens.
had, if oil was on the ground, it would light up and.
Sure, but oil and grease aren't the same
Same
thing.
thing, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now, in 5th edition, grease specifically says, that
Okay.
it's flammable and this is what happens.
Yep.
This does not say that, so I would say, rules as written, nothing happens. Now, if the DM wants to arbitrate something differently, then that's the DM's prerogative.
No, I mean the objective of grease is to make people slip and fall, not
Yeah, not to make them burn.
not to make them burn. So no. Okay, I'm going to do their damage. That is. Oh wait, one more guy has to move. Did this guy attack yet?
You tell me.
Did you take damage
Mm-hmm.
from non-arrows? No, he did not.
non-arrows. What are you talking about?
The hell is
Did he get
non-arrow?
a stab?
Anything
Did
with
you
non-arrow?
get stabbed by a horse chopper? No.
Is it a horse chopper
No,
or a
it
dog
isn't.
cutter?
This one's a horse chopper because he's a commando. So
They're
I think
all
he's gonna
like
miss.
neutering tools. Like, this is disturbing.
14 will not hit you, so. Oh, wait. No, he's not flanking bad. I thought, oh, there's a goblin there! Oh, but it's the wrong goblin.
Look out for the goblin with the rubber bands.
Okay, that is done. Freak,
Oh.
you are up.
Oh, no.
Alright, spin it around so I can see where I'm
Spin
at.
it around.
You're still on the ground.
I'm still on the ground, but where is the guy who set me on fire?
Right there next to the flame pit.
Our tactical map is totally fucked. It's nowhere near. No. Try again.
No.
That's better. Keep going. There you go.
For some reason, I was looking at that camera thinking that camera was.
Okay. I am going to try to get up.
Get
Then
up.
you get
Stand up.
Standing up
Right.
is just an action.
Yeah.
Okay, standing up. Alright.
If you don't want to make an acrobatics check, you have to take 5-foot steps per action
Can't stop fidgeting.
to move across the grease. Or you can try to move
Or you
completely
just-
and pass an acrobatics
Or
check.
you can just stay in the grease.
Or you can just stand in the grease. And lob bombs or
Yeah.
whatever else.
Oh, I'm gonna
The
lock
bombs.
bomb right at this caster. He's like, you want fire? I'll give you fire. Right up your fire hole.
You could ready your action for when he starts casting so you could fuck him up that way.
That's a smart idea. I'll do that.
So it takes 2 actions to ready an action. Which,
I stood up. I've got 2 actions left.
so you're ready.
Ready.
Do you mean his Fiesta Olay?
Yes. Yes.
So readying an action, basically you take 2 actions and end your turn. You determine, and then your next action becomes a reaction. So you determine your trigger
My trigger.
and what
is-
your action, your result is.
My trigger is going to be when he casts again. When that SOB casts a spell, I am going to lob an alchemist fire at him.
Let's
Right in
just
his head.
lob one, anyways.
Because
Because
the
it
idea
wants
is to
to
interrupt
interrupt
the
the spell.
cast.
Well, lob one now and then lob another one later.
No,
Be-
I want it.
He can't.
Okay.
He doesn't, because it requires a reaction to
Oh.
do that. He doesn't have a reaction that just lets him lob a bomb whenever the fuck he wants.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to interrupt the spell casting.
Gotcha.
To cost him
Not
the
just
spell
kill,
slot.
not kill him.
No, I want to humiliate him.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine.
Well, I mean, kill him also.
Sure.
Yeah.
We also don't know whether or not one bomb is going to kill him.
Yeah.
So
At this point, it doesn't matter. Humiliation is the name of the game. Killing him was fair and good.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
when,
Ready your,
when we're
ready
done,
your-
we'll
ready
shit
your
in
bomb.
his mouth. Okay.
Ready your bomb for when they cast. Okay.
Yes, ready a bomb for when they cast.
Okay. That was your turn.
That's
So he's
okay.
done.
Well, then that was
back to the top.
back to the top.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Yeah.
His ready doesn't go away. He's just created a reaction for himself.
Yeah. He'll lose it when it gets back to his turn again.
Right. But for now, he has a reaction available to him.
I thought it said that your reactions end at the end of the round.
Only the.
If okay, so if that's the
Random
case,
act.
if that's the case, what he'll do is he'll delay, and then go as soon as we start up again, and then make a ready to action.
Yeah.
That's
So-
that does. Then he's trying to put himself at the top of the initiative order, and that doesn't work either.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. That's the whole point of a delay. Is
When-
to change
when you
your initiative
delay-
order.
And take your action, you
Okay.
put yourself wherever we're at in the initiative order. So he could change his position. So it doesn't matter. It works out the same way. He's got a reaction. If Homeboy starts casting a spell, he's getting a grenade in the face.
Yeah, if you want to get real technical, you could say, okay, he delays to the very big. Well, he has to, your delay goes at the end of the turn. So you come back in at the end of the turn you want. So basically, he would go in after you,
Right.
so that he's at the top of the initiative. Then take his 2 actions to ready, and then he now has a reaction to lob a bomb.
Yeah.
It's happening one way or the other.
It comes out in the wash.
If you really want, move his initiative to after Nate, and then now we're square.
It says here the delay. If you delay an entire round without returning to the initiative order,
An entire round would be his next turn.
Right. Otherwise,
they
you're
go
only.
or is it the round?
His next turn.
My next turn.
No, it
not
doesn't
the
say
round.
his next turn. It says the round.
An entire round
If
is
you-
from the
entire round
top
doesn't
of the
pass
initiative
if
to
only
the
6
bottom of the initiative.
Okay, without returning to his initiative order. Okay.
Right, so the world isn't divided up into time quanta of rounds. So an entire round is his turn to his turn.
As far as I'm concerned, that as far as Greeks.
Otherwise, being last in the initiative would really fuck you out of
Everything.
everything.
Yeah,
And you have no way of fixing it.
ever.
Okay. Okay. Well, you can do the ready. If the trigger you chose occurs before the start of your next turn, you can use the chosen action as a reaction.
Right.
There we go.
Okay.
That's exactly what we said.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so my turn.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
So ready in action.
Are there any hurt motherfuckers out there?
I'm a hurt motherfucker.
Anyone we care
Of
about?
them. I'm a damage dealer, not a damage healer.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, never mind then.
That one's hurt.
Okay.
Caster's hurt.
That's the caster. Yep.
Excellent, because he's already my fucking target. My hunt target, and I've missed him, so I'm really angry at him. I'm going to try to shoot him.
Do it.
That is going to be... He's within 50 feet.
Yes.
So minus
That's
two.
-2. Alright, so I rolled a 13 to hit.
That.
Hit him.
I would say he's technically screened,
Yeah. That's
which
what
means
I'm
he has
trying to figure out.
+1. He has +1 to his AC for being screened.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's
What is he screened by?
screened. Well, there's the door, and then there's.
Well,
The
screen,
door doesn't
I mean,
screen.
there's Reek.
if there are any people between in the middle of your line of sight, basically, then he's screened.
I would argue that since I am a small creature, you could shoot right over
It
me.
doesn't matter.
Really?
If they're
It's-
one
it's
size
the
category
square.
smaller than you or bigger,
Alright,
then they're
so
screened.
the laser is hitting me and him and nothing else.
But it passes through the square.
That is fucking weak sauce.
Passes through the square that he's in.
Does it really?
Yes. So it just misses.
That's fucking
That's,
horseshit.
That's why I had to check because I'm like, if it wasn't for the screening, and I wouldn't say cover because she didn't take action to cover herself. So
Alright, so there's grease in the way,
there is grease in this.
and the grease does what?
You just acrobatics check to move through or fall.
It's just a little slippery.
Yeah.
And how far is he from me?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
35.
You can always, Legolas and jump over the grease. I mean, it's
Well,
only-
that
it's
would
only
be
these
the
4
acrobatics
squares.
check.
No, I'm just saying, you could, if you were here to there, it doesn't take.
Technically, a leap is an athletics check.
Yes. Yeah.
And just
Or you can just take
It,
stuff from here
it
to there.
depends on the
Horsepower.
nature of the leap. If it's a long jump or something, yeah, but if you're trying to do some hoity-toity shit, then it's an acrobatics check.
And if you had a running start, I think you could maybe argue that. There's something about if you
So he's-
have a running start before
He's
you
35 feet away to adjacent space, is what you're saying?
Yes.
To adjacent space or to him?
30
No,
feet to adjacent space is
The
35
adjacent
feet.
space
to
is
him.
30.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
To get to them, it's 35. But you didn't ask. You asked how far away they were from you. Go ahead.
You just confused him.
No, he didn't confuse me.
No.
I'm just frustrated with him.
Oh.
Because he knew exactly what I
No, I
fucking
didn't. I
meant.
actually thought you wanted to know how
No.
far away they were from you.
I did too. I,
I didn't know you wanted to actually get up next to him. And
I knew he was within the volley range, so the only other thing I might do is a melee attack.
Okay.
Alright, so I will attempt to move to him, dropping my bow and drawing my sword in the process. I will make an acrobatics check.
You really wouldn't have to if you went
Okay,
from here to there.
then fine. I make the acrobatics check anyway,
Okay.
but I will then attempt to melee attack him. And miss.
Should have pimp slapped him into the china cabinet.
That would have been a good idea. I wasn't aware of a china cabinet, but now that I am, that's the thing that's going to happen.
Now I'm telling you, humiliation is going to be the name of our group.
I agree.
Freya.
You and me are shitting in his mouth.
Absolutely.
And your cat stays behind, right?
Yes.
We're going to feed the cat a bunch of milk products, dairy.
Get it really fucked up.
Just like that kobold in that one comic.
Yeah.
Just like that old gypsy ones. No.
That's right.
Alright, so whose turn is it?
Freya.
It's my turn? Alright. How badly hurt is everybody?
I am at 3.
I am completely fine.
How did you drop that low again?
Because he hit
Burning
me
hands.
for $7.
got burning hands.
$7?
$7 $7 make a holla.
7 points of fire.
How far away is she from me?
20.
Shut
15 if you want to actually move to it then. Sorry. Man, I look like an ass on that, don't I? Only in your
Ow.
eyes.
I hate you guys.
Seriously.
See, I hate you guys.
Usually it's assholes asking to look like Glenn. I look like a Glenn right now, don't I?
Do something heroic.
I don't have.
Save me!
I've already
Can
fucking
you
kept
be
people
my
alive.
hero, baby?
Throw the tea light at him. Tea light.
How far away
Dude,
are?
pick that bitch up and body slam him into the fire.
I got a 12 strength. I mean, I guess they are goblins though. But still.
Yeah,
Hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
that's right.
For us, that's right.
It's been a hot minute since we hit a motherfucker with another
That's
motherfucker.
more his job than my job. How far? What's
We
what's
need to
the
do with a
furthest?
piece.
What's the furthest distance the
Right.
goblins are? Like, how far away are the goblins from?
That's 35, and this guy, or maybe almost 40. So that's like 40 or something, or 50. I don't know. It's a long way.
What about those ones that are up by everybody else? Like 20?
20, 25-ish. I don't know. Because movement. Do you still count that like movement the same as distance? I guess.
Right.
'Cause you move
Here's a better
distance.
one. What's the radius of the room? From the tea light to the
From the
wall.
light.
How far is
From
it?
the windows to the wall.
Yeah.
The sweat drip, it's like 25.
I'm moving.
25, 25.
All right.
I
I'm
can't
moving
even.
next to the campfire.
I have the can't even condition.
Okay, you want to go through the grease, or you want to go around the
I'm
grease?
Is
going
that in the index?
around the grease as long as I can get there within
One.
20 feet doing so.
Oh,
That's-
not roll.
okay, that's
You don't wanna
5.
roll, not roll.
That's 15,
That's the rainbow.
and that would be 20 if you wanted to get in
All
the
right.
fire pit.
I'm then casting Bane, a 30-foot aura. All enemies have -1 to all attacks and saves.
Okay. Bane.
Oh, sure.
How long does it last?
Concentration up to 1 minute.
So, if they try to break
You
your
have a dice roll, the
concentration.
bad dice rolls.
They'd have to ready an attack
Oh,
to break my concentration.
okay. So you don't have to ready. You have to concentrate the entire minute.
I didn't roll a 20,
Concentration is already a man. Every round, I will spend 1 action to concentrate.
Gotcha.
Now, they can ready an attack saying, next time he concentrates, I want to attack him. If they do that
That's
and they
great.
hit me, my concentration would break and the spell fails.
Okay.
But if they do not ready an action to do so, then I would just concentrate and the spell continues.
Question: do I still have that thing that you cast on me?
No, because
You
you
die.
died.
Mhm.
Sanctuary?
Sad panda.
You-
Thank you. Yeah, that one.
Almost
Well,
died.
almost.
Well, you passed out.
Yeah.
You weren't even drinking.
That's
that'd be
unusual.
You got roofied.
Hey, that's happened to me before.
Big stupid.
It's
Little
not
man.
fun.
You're raging.
Alright.
I
You have to-
just
I'm
passed out.
sorry.
Just,
No.
It's
You just-
Now I feel like
It's for
an
4
asshole.
rounds, which is like the 3rd round, I believe.
It was long.
Second.
It's okay.
Oh, alright. So,
Alright, so I don't even need to move to hit that guy, do I?
now you can smack everybody.
Cool. Yeah, I'm
Just
gonna.
Who do you want to choose?
Bone storm.
I am going to try to split in half vertically on numbnuts right here.
Alright, he's a big guy. You may not go with one hit.
Let's see. Oh, I think you won't. It's 5 plus the. What the hell am I using again? 8, right? So 8.
8 does not hit.
So is it raid +2? So that would be
Oh,
10.
yeah.
no. That's for damage.
That's for damage. My bad. My bad. My bad.
10 wouldn't
Twice
hit
the
anyway.
damage.
I
know,
guess
I
for
know.
bonus action, I'm gonna take a mulligan.
Or just your second
It's
action.
just a second action.
Yeah.
At -5.
So you're technically at -2 total. So you rolled a 6, -2 is 4.
Big whiff of
3.
No,
7.
because it's +3 -5. So you're at a
Oh.
-2 total.
Oh well.
You can always do it again at a -10. If you crit, you could.
Yeah. You'd have to roll a 20 to hit, but you could try.
Can I assume like a defensive position?
You could do, alright, so what you could do, because these are not attacks, and you have a pretty good athletics, I mean, not amazing, but, well, I guess because your armor, it's fucking you up, but still, you're trained in athletics, you could try doing one of these things, grappling, shoving, etc., try to fuck them up, because since it's not considered an attack, you're not taking any negatives on the roll.
Shove that bitch into the fire.
You could do a grapple, where you just grab them, you're like, fuck you, and then you can try to throw them in the fire or something. You can do a shove, so you can try to shove the motherfucker into the fire. You try to trip them and knock them on the ground.
Into the fire.
I'll do
Shoving
it.
is probably your best.
Alright.
Yeah,
Just
and I'm
the
gonna
fire,
try to
just
like
into
grab
the
him and
fire.
like roll on my back and kind of up kick him into the
Well,
fire.
that-
Go flip.
Well, first you're just going to grab them. Next round you can try to do whatever.
No, just grab him.
So you're going to roll your athletics.
You're gonna drop your sword in the process.
Yes, you'll be dropping your sword in the process.
There's a free action.
Oh shit.
Otherwise you ain't got no
So
miss.
6.
Alright.
I got fucking
It's
no
against their,
dukes.
what's their fortitude?
Oh no, wait. I'm sorry.
But who's he trying to grapple?
4.
First.
I'm trying to grapple numbnuts.
A motherfucker.
Which numbnuts? That big
They're all
guy?
numbnuts.
Okay. Big guy numbnuts. Okay.
What's his fortitude?
His
All the nuts are
fortitude
numb.
is +5.
Alright, so
You
no.
grapple.
You know you don't grapple.
Oh no.
Because it would be 15 that you have to beat.
No grapple. I'm
So,
scrapped.
alright, so, but you failed, but you didn't critical fail, so you failed to grab your opponent. If you already had the
Grappled
opponent grabbed
together?
or restrained by way of grapple, those conditions
Oh.
will creature end. So he
I
just
think it
failed.
was.
I think it is the devil.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Who?
Scrapple.
Is the devil?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a whole list.
There are
of
certain
foods.
foodstuffs that are the devil, and I'm pretty sure Scrapple is one of them.
Probably.
Oh, Scrapple is heaven.
Okay, remember we were talking about
I don't
being an
know
asshole?
you.
Isn't that you talking about the pork stuff they fry in? No?
Yes, intestines.
And we can.
I don't know. I've
I'm
never
gonna
had
go
it.
get that text file.
I thought it was
out.
It's like fried pork skin.
I don't think that's what
No,
Scrapple
no.
is.
Oh,
Pork
Scrapple, also known by the
It is.
Pennsylvania Dutch name panhas or pan rabbit, is traditionally a mush of pork scraps and trimmings combined with cornmeal,
Oh no.
wheat flour,
Yeah.
buckwheat flour,
Gross.
and spices.
No. No. Someone told me that Scrapple was fried pork.
Mm-mm.
Skin.
No. Fried pork skins is called pork crackers.
It's pork
Well, no, pork
scraps.
rinds are fine.
It's like worse than hot dog meat.
It's the
Anyways.
shit you don't want to eat.
This is what they make after they make them.
Tips, you're up. Try not to die.
Well,
Turn you around so you can see
yes,
yourself.
please.
Turn you right round, baby, right round.
Okay, so I.
Sorry, I'm ignoring the audience here. They're
Yeah,
screaming.
nice, Glenn. Yeah.
We also haven't taken our break, but
Way to go, not doing all the jobs at the same time.
Right, what are you
Glenn,
doing?
Step it up.
Yeah.
Well, I
Doing that
I only
asshole
have
job,
3
okay.
freaking hours.
What do you want to do?
Oh wait, so my dying
You're
thing
not dying
is
anymore.
gone.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah,
Your
you're
dying
not.
condition is gone.
You are now
feeling
living.
better.
Yay!
I'm feeling better.
Except I
With the
only have
exception that
3
you have
hit
3 hit
points.
points,
Yay!
I'm feeling better.
I was feeling better, now I'm feeling worse again.
I recommend a tactical withdrawal.
That's what I was gonna say. I think I'm just gonna kind of skirt. Well, if I withdraw, then nobody will be able to come and heal me.
Well,
Unless
but
they
then
will.
the-
you'll also
James
not
did it.
get
Or
perforated.
just come stand behind me. If I can touch you, I can heal you.
Sounds like a fair trade.
That sounds like a song lyric.
Touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it.
I can touch you. I can heal you. I can feel you.
So is that what you wish to do?
Yeah, I'll run up behind.
You're gonna run? Okay.
Well, no, I'm going to. I can only move 5-foot increments without slipping and falling on my butt, can't I?
Once they get out of it, yes.
But I think it only takes 5 feet for you to get out of it. I think you were right on the edge of it.
Okay, so I'll take 5-foot step. It's my first action.
Okay, well, I'll do this then, since that would make... Now you're out of it.
Cool. All right, and then I'm gonna go and just stand behind him, just be. I'm just gonna.
Summons
'Cause-
kitty litter.
What are you? What are you? What is
She
yours?
is,
human.
she is
You're
a
human?
human cleric.
Okay, so I can stand behind you and kind of hide because.
Well, actually, what you can do, if you move behind me and still have any actions left, you can take cover.
Which gives you a plus
2.
2.
Okay,
Well,
well,
plus,
then
if you consider me as being full cover for her, then it
Well,
would
she'd
be.
be
I'm a
screened.
halfling.
Nobody screamed.
Well, screen would be just standing behind.
Right.
Right,
Okay,
but if
well
she
then-
takes cover,
She takes
then
cover
it would
behind
be...
you.
I'll do that.
Right.
I'll do whatever y'all. I'll just do that. I'm gonna move behind him and take cover. Be like, hey,
Okay, you were going to...
y'all got me into this mess.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
not
You
you
were
true.
going to get into this mess all by yourself, because you were going to sneak in there and try to steal from these goblins. So,
You was,
whatever.
gonna, you was gonna be fooked.
Yeah. It would have been you against 5.
Goblin kid.
Okay, goblins move.
Groblins.
Goblins, and they're at
Josh
a
Roblin.
minus,
See,
because your aura, they're a minus.
Minus
Well,
all the
minus 1.
things.
Minus
to
1.
attacks.
Circumstance.
I should have just snuck in, grabbed
Yeah.
his shit, and got out. Snuck around away from you guys. Everything.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
Well, with your 12 stealth, I don't think that you were going to accomplish a whole
Shoulda,
lot.
coulda,
Well,
woulda.
no. When I first came in there, right after you guys asked me to go in there the first time, I had a 21
Yeah, but your
stealth.
first one
Thank
was
you.
at 12.
AC?
My AC is, God, I fucked it up on this one, but I'm at level 4 when I have it correct. 15.
Okay, that's one arrow misses you. Second arrow misses you. And that's the wrong freaking dice. It's a 6. That second goblin fires arrows at you, misses that one, and ooh, that's a critical miss, and he's just gonna
Be embarrassed.
And that's woofer. So 2 of the goblins' arrows at you misses completely. Next up is the pyromancer. Pyro.
What a bitch.
This bitch right
Starts
here.
to cast a spell. At which point, bomb in the face.
I will gladly take the splash.
He's gonna say, "You still want some more of my fire?"
Bring it.
And tries to get burning hands on you.
All right.
Now I'll try to interrupt.
That was cockeyed.
Okay.
I can spend a hero point to roll again.
It's 2, it has to be
Oh, damn
Two-
it, you're right. 2 hero points to roll.
2,
It's
or
area
3
attack.
hero ones actually, I think they reroll.
That's true.
It's
It was
area
your
attack. He'll take 1 damage anyway.
Which is enough, if he's a first level character, or first level enemy, that's all it takes to interrupt him.
Then good, because that's I got an 8.
Oh, that's right. You threw a bomb.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you missed.
It's all right.
But I'm gonna say that these are adjacent targets, so they
Right.
take 1 point as well.
That's okay.
I'm cool with that.
And his spell fizzles.
And the spell fizzles.
He loses the spell slot and his actions.
Oh well, that was his second slot. Oh darn.
Oh darn.
That was his last slot. No more slots for you, Sonny.
He's got so many slots in Vegas, you don't know what to do with them.
You gotta fill them slots.
And then takes a 5-foot step.
Alright.
Who took 1 point?
I like to think what happened
I
was
did.
he went to cast the spell, he threw the
and
alchemist fire on it, and then like
Little
the
Man
hands
did.
hit it and blast back at him.
And the
That's
caster.
actually, yes, that's very
But
similar.
then that would have done a lot of damage to him.
No, not necessarily. Not if it just sort of like just exploded in midair type thing, and did splash damage to everybody, and then he was like, "Oh shit!" and backed off. I think that's way more awesome.
7. Will a 14 hit? Jeremy?
Who?
Oh,
Jeremy.
13.
Nope.
Sorry. Okay, so this guy tried to hit him once. Oh, it's a crit.
On who?
Little man.
Little Man.
Oh,
So
that's not good.
if it's a natural 20, but it's your second attack, is it still a crit?
Yeah, it's still great.
Okay, but do I have to go to -5 to hit him?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a hit.
20 is always hit. 20 is always
Even
crit.
even if it's your second attack or your
Yes.
third attack?
Yeah.
Oh, well. 5. 8. Is there 8 modifiers? 8 plus. Oh, it's lethal. Oh.
I mean, why wouldn't it be lethal? It's the bow, right?
No, I'm sorry. It's horse chop. It doesn't say lethal. It doesn't say deadly. So it's just double damage. So it's
Okay.
8 points of damage.
Okay, he's not entirely dead.
No, he's still there. He's just angry.
He's
Doesn't
holding
trip
yours,
him, though.
Okay, so you do
Do you have to actually try to trip?
an athletics check versus, I believe, their
Does-
reflex save.
Does it say that they are tripped or that
It
you
has
get
an
a free
attempted.
trip attack?
And is it free or does it cost an action?
Yeah, that's
Right.
okay. It's under equipment.
I
Trip.
imagine it would be free. Otherwise, what's the point? Because you can always spend an action to do a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use this weapon to trip with athletic skills, even if you don't have a free hand. Use this weapon's reach.
Oh, that it's an action to trip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just
yeah.
means
That's
that you
a
can use the
weapon
weapon
items.
as
Yeah.
your trip instead of grabbing
Okay,
something leg
gotcha.
or whatever.
And it's also with reach, so you would be able to do it
Yeah.
At
10
range.
feet away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if I wanted to trip you, I could trip you because you're 10
Yeah.
feet away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it don't matter right now.
He's feeling pretty cocky because he's gonna try a third hit.
He's feeling bukkake.
He's feeling bukkake, yes. And the third one just is a whiffer. So that's it for the goblins. Freak.
Rotate the rat, please.
Rotate the normal for the freak.
Okay. Where am I versus him?
You're right there. He's right there.
Okay. And that's the mage?
No, the mage
Oh,
is
the mage
behind the
is behind
campfire over there.
campfire.
Okay.
You're underway with a 5-foot step.
Where's our rogue there?
She's right there.
I'm hiding behind Freya.
Where do I want to attack? I kind of want to still get that Pyromancer because it's on like Donkey Kong.
Fuck
Chase
him
him
up,
down.
sport.
Chasing down, stab him.
Whoa! What's all this chasing thing? Parabolic arcs.
Okay. Throw more bombs in.
Straight ballistics.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know how many bombs you have, so yeah.
I think I have 3 left.
Ignoring air resistance.
That's right. Let's see here. Alright. Let's do this. That's an 18.
So that probably hits.
That hits.
That hits. 1d8 damage. That's 2 damage.
2.
But he's also got another ongoing 1. He's on fire.
And is there anybody near him to splash to? No.
No, just trying to check. Alright, second action.
You tell me you okay, bud?
No.
Second pep talk?
How is
What's
he
he
looking?
looking,
Hit
Ginger?
right. Is he?
It's pretty scorched.
He's pretty scorched.
Yeah. I won't lie. He's not looking good.
wondering if I should heal you or attack him again.
Earlier in the day, but well, I'm feeling
Ah,
today.
we're attacking again. Parabolic arcs this time. Again. Well, wait a minute. No, not with that. Not with this. I've got a hand crossbow. I haven't used that. I shoot him.
Okay.
Should be an action to pull it out and actually
you're
shoot
right.
it.
Shoot.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, you're right. It would be. In that case, I would not have done that. I would actually just move over to Bethany and give her a healing potion.
that's 2 actions too, though.
Yeah, that's because I'm on my second action.
Okay.
Six.
That gets 1d6 damage back. We roll that.
All right, you're getting brownie points in my book.
Roll 1d6, huh?
Well,
Ah.
She has to take it on her turn, doesn't she?
Right, when you are when you quaff it.
Well, should we,
So that was your
since we're
ready
in the end of the
action.
round,
That was
should we
everything.
just take a break now?
So that would put them
I'm gonna try to finish the fight. Take it
there.
right.
Yep.
This has been a very long fight.
Okay.
Right. No, he was just using a reaction. His initiative doesn't change.
Oh, okay.
That was just a reaction that he had
Okay.
triggered.
Well, then it's his action.
Yep, now it is your... Oh, wait. You shouldn't have gotten multiple actions. All you would have gotten is your reaction to bomb.
All right. Well,
To
then,
interrupt.
okay. Well,
And then-
I went ahead and finished the round.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So, he would just be done. If he took all his other actions, then that would have been the rest of his turn.
Okay.
No.
What are we...
I'm confused here.
No, he did this through the one action to interrupt,
Right.
And then it was his turn after that?
and then it was his turn after that. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's
so
what
then
happened.
we're just at the end of
So
the
now
round.
it's back
right
up
there,
to me.
Now we're back up to that. So yeah.
Alright. Move me up towards the caster. Should be like a 5-foot step.
Another 5-foot step.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack him with my sword. 23 to hit.
That is a critical hit.
He will take 5.
He doesn't need to take
Plus
any more
2.
than 5.
Oh no, he's gonna take 5 plus 2.
He's
So
gonna
he's
take
gonna take
all the damage.
So you slice them in half,
No.
and
no,
you slice them in half again.
No. Oh no. No, we're not doing it like that. Prevent me.
Go right ahead.
Okay. We're slicing through, but we're stopping before it actually goes all the way through. So we're getting up to this point,
Okay.
and then we do it again, up to this point. So he's now ribboned.
Okay.
So that way, he's still alive enough to watch himself die.
and fall apart.
Yes.
And when we're done, we can roll him out like an accordion.
Yes.
Well, that
Not quite as musical, but I'll allow it. Okay.
He's got a squeeze box.
That leaves me with one more action. I don't have any
Yes.
other dudes adjacent to me, right?
No, not there.
Okay. There's a dude almost adjacent to me, right? This guy?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take a 5-foot step to there.
To there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Freya.
All right. So I'm going to do the touch version of heal. I only need one action. Well, what are you at now for your hit points? You're still
I'm
at
still
30?
at 3, and I haven't drank the potion yet.
You're at 6. Shit. Probably be more efficient to just do freaking.
Area effect.
Yeah. Have you been hurt?
1 point.
Have you been hurt?
I have a scratch.
Yeah, it's gonna be way more efficient for me to just do it. Alright, I'll do heal again with 3 actions.
Can I see that rulebook where you do that?
Yeah.
I want to look up something for my turn.
So,
And break your concentration.
yeah, so Bane will have to drop because I won't be concentrating anymore. You all heal for, what is that, 11 points of damage. Or
Oh,
11 hit
sweet.
points.
Wow.
Can I just hold on to this potion then? Because I'm almost pretty much
Yeah,
off.
until the end of the day anyway.
Okay.
Drink tomorrow. See what happens.
You're less thirsty.
Because I only have 1 hit point. I'm only down 1 hit point now, so.
You feel regenerated.
Okay, little man.
You're a little
How
girl.
are you feeling?
Let's see.
You feel like killing a goblin commando?
Yeah, that guy right back there.
He's not wearing underwear. What the
Going
right.
commando on your butt?
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna try to stick the sword right through him. I'm just gonna
Spear him.
right through
Back through the heart.
the heart.
God, you're terrible.
And,
Suck at this game.
You rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1?
Yeah,
I hate it.
Try again. Try harder.
You get -5.
So you're -2 total.
Or -2, so.
Well,
minus
it's
10.
correct too.
yeah.
I hate it.
8 minus 6.
No, you're 3. It's 5
Three?
minus 2.
Oh, so I didn't add the ability to it?
No, you're at -5 for the attack. So add 3.
Oh, shit.
Subtract 5.
You're right.
You try to grapple again.
Yeah, it didn't work last time.
Oh, that's right. You don't have your sword in your hands.
Well, yeah. So actually, would have had to use an interact action to
so-
pick it back up. so that
okay,
would be
so
your whole
it's-
turn.
Yeah,
Well-
we're done then.
Hang on. Just mulligan that shit.
Because he didn't drop it.
He had to
He
drop
had
it
to
last
drop it.
turn
Oh,
to
try
make
to
the
grapple.
grapple
You're
check.
right.
So right now you're empty-handed.
Alright.
So
Do you want to pick it up, or do you want to just grapple?
I'd rather, yeah, I'd rather just pick it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Then his turn went as just happened. So
yeah.
you're done.
Alright.
Next.
Yeah.
Alright, what you doing?
Well, was he trying to... Well, it wouldn't matter if you're trying to grapple with 6.
No, it doesn't matter. It's
It is now
Oh,
Seth's turn now.
Let me see what's going on here. Come on, just a turn. Just a
You're,
smidge right
you're
there.
right there.
Sweet. Thank you. So this is me.
That's you. Goblin panda.
Goblin. Alright. So he would be not shield, but
Screened.
screened.
Yes.
Thank you. Alright. Well then.
And so would that dude.
Okay.
But that the dude here.
Even the...
I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah. Hi everybody.
It'll bring it.
And get some viewers.
So it's fine.
Hey.
I'm fine with it.
Oh,
I
just
feel
go ahead and
left
stare
out.
down my shirt. That's cool. I'm not worried about it. Whatever. My husband's right there.
Like I said, I'm fine with it. Brings in the viewers. Whatever.
Alright, so how far is the... Can I just, like, squeeze in between, like those...
You want to squeeze what? I need to...
Shut up, Nate!
That wasn't him.
I got titties on the brain. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, you got titties on
Can I squeeze?
You could
Next time we need to
I
drop some
mean-
boulders, I have an idea.
5, 10,
Terrible.
15. Where do you want to go? Just tell me where you want to go.
I wanna get up next to that
You want
guy.
to be here?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you can
At
move to
25
here if
feet.
you want. You can move to here if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm, like, adjacent to him, and I can attack him.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pull out 2 daggers. As one of my... As one of my actions, I'm gonna pull out my daggers. Stabble.
Okay, so
Stabble.
there's one action you pull out
Are
one
you
dagger.
are you flanking?
Oh, I only can... Oh.
Well, I'm just curious if you
Flashing.
you flashing him? Are you flanking?
It's...
I stun him. No, I'm just kidding.
Rogue's gone
Yeah, I think
wild.
so. I think that would consider.
Ladies, that tits.
I mean, it's really easy to determine if you're
Sharks
flanking,
with
Glenn,
holes.
or is
Yeah,
that
it's-
person
it's
on the other
going-
side of her?
Well, no, it's not just that. It's diagonal to diagonal.
Does it matter?
It's like...
Is there a person completely opposite the
There-
enemy?
There is not.
Then she is not flanking. That's real simple.
Okay.
Okay, not completely opposite, no.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to stabble him.
1.
Crit fail. Alright. And then I'm going to try to stabble him again.
You moved, you
Yeah,
drew
you
an
can't.
action.
Oh, you're right.
You
Never mind.
Move, drew, and
It wouldn't have
attacked.
mattered anyway because I got a 2, so.
Okay.
At least,
Yay.
you wasted the 2. Who next?
Who next?
Where's I at?
Pick one up. Oh,
You
goblins
have a
go.
4th level.
Still have 3 goblins I could kill.
Yes.
I already
I want it as a
I know.
power.
You've also got.
Oh yeah.
You also have
Well, they just-
hang resonance or something like
I
that.
know.
taking
that's
a very long time.
Yes. So when I
I'm
can
getting some
ignore it, that's the
shitty
screen.
ass rolls.
Excellent.
It's great.
13 would hit you, right?
It's gotta be.
No.
Okay.
It requires a mirror.
Because you're on opponent.
19. Right?
19 will hit me.
Okay. 6 points of piercing damage.
You can't use strong anymore. It's bad.
That's
Well,
right.
now
That's
I'm
the
gonna
part.
need that
We gotta
potion
be
again.
environmentally sound here. Oh, you do our cocaine.
Good thing you have the potion.
You know what's really frustrating is like this character's built for
It's
like
organically sourced.
Oh lord.
protection, so that like I can have stuff to like boost your ACs or like negate damage you take and stuff like that. But I can't do it because I have to spend all my goddamn actions healing you, so I never get caught up.
So there's a lot of bad guys.
Well, what's 15 won't hit you, right?
It's no.
Plus,
Because I
you know,
have.
these are
like,
level 0 mobs,
Yeah,
so
no.
that means they're gonna be
What's
like
your armor class?
16.
super overpowered.
Good. That's one goblin. Second goblin. He's gonna attack
The
Legolas.
last time we fought
11 will not hit you.
they regenerate.
Right?
Level zeros?
Yes.
No.
Which was it?
The
That's
presence.
even worse.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were
And
CR1.
that's just wasted.
Right.
Zero ones regenerate and fly.
Okay.
CR0 is just, bull rush you.
Here's my problem. Now I don't know. I don't think that it says anything in the game
Goblin commander.
about CRs and how they're rated or whatever.
Uh oh.
Oh Jesus!
Jeremy, he just critted you.
You know what now?
He just crit you.
What does that mean?
He's doing double damage.
Double damage.
Um,
So it's 2 plus.
But-
You got the rubber bands on you.
Good thing I rolled low. You only
You
take
take
4
4
points of damage.
No.
But like I know in other games like Pathfinder First Edition and D&D,
Second.
all the last few D&D versions, like one CR1 monster was designed to be a fight for
Small
4 first level characters, and then like something like a CR 1/2 would be like you need 2 of them for for
Right.
4 first level and so on. So this is pitting us up like the Quasits were 2 CR1s, which means they should have been for like 6 players.
Well,
Or
I think it's a little more complicated than that. It's a measure of like how much of our resources they consume, as far as
no, I understand, but it's still.
Right.
I'm talking like typically when I say they're supposed to be,
Alright.
a fight for it's usually like a quarter of your resources for a single CR1 creature should eat up
right.
a quarter of the resources for
Just-
first level characters.
Just so you know,
Like
you've done no damage to these 2 guys
Oh,
or
there's
this
2 of
guy.
them.
that's what I'm saying. Like this
Yeah.
is like what 4
it's
CR
like-
zeros
it's like-
plus a CR1.
It's like the 5th round or whatever, and you've killed 2.
Yeah.
And they've knocked her down pretty much twice.
and they've almost killed him.
Hey,
Right.
no, once, man, just once.
Almost.
Almost.
Twice.
Almost twice.
If I wasn't playing a goddamn cleric, we'd all be fucked.
Yeah.
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 So
What you need is 2 clerics per party in this game.
It's a party of fucking clerics.
That's it. Go team cleric.
Fucking immortal.
That's right.
yeah, it's a little more challenging than a 5e. It looks like. But we're still learning too, so maybe we're doing something wrong.
We are also admittedly rolling like shit.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
And I did
When
actually-
our barbarian hasn't rolled above a 5 for the entire fucking combat. Like,
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
feel his pain.
Freak, you're up.
I know.
you gonna roll out?
But
Oh, you're gonna switch dice?
yeah, that's not a bad idea actually.
Make with that AOE.
We're gonna
Actually,
do that. Well,
I already
Not-
switched
not on this
dice
guy.
once.
no, with the other 2 over there.
yeah.
We're gonna toss some bomb.
Trying to dig out the blood
But Bomberman.
This guy is
Go for it.
He is arrowing.
They're all shooting arrows. yes,
Heroin?
both of them.
Arrowing. All right. Bomber.
Goodness gracious.
That's gonna be a 20, not natural.
Hits. Hits a hit.
6 damage. He takes 1 fire on go.
That's enough to kill him.
Thank God.
That's what I'm saying. They're CR0, so they're incredibly easy to kill if you
We
hit them.
have to hit them.
Yes. Okay.
Those
You
are
have no
cotton
reaction?
candy.
Yes. Yeah, it does.
So this guy's
All right, I'm gonna
Burning
do
in the
one more
corner.
time. I'm gonna one in the corner.
okay.
These dice really remind me of Jaws.
Jaws.
That's gonna be
Makes me think
14
about Jaws.
minus 5. No, 9.
9 does not.
Titanic.
But
But he is taking splash damage from
one fire.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
and I am out of bombs.
No more bullets.
All right, well, it's Elry. You
So
are
I
up.
take. I grab my crossbow. That's an action.
Okay. You unsheath your crossbow.
That's right.
Can't
I drop my gun like John Woo style.
Giggity, giggity, goo.
Oh,
I need to
You
like press the
you need-
digitation.
You need to.
One doesn't work because it's just fake.
Yes.
It's made out of block of wood.
You gotta have a
Chai Young
That's right. I need.
crossbow.
I need the crossbow.
It's like it's hard boiled.
What
All
you
right.
doing?
I'm gonna attack
I see what you're saying.
that
Okay.
motherfucker right
the
there.
red one.
I got you.
It's all the way the blue is all looks like water.
I'm gonna assume that a 10 is a miss.
I was just thinking.
Yes. In
Titanic.
this case, it will be.
You know, ice, water, and blood.
I'm going to assume that
Actually, forecast.
The magic number is 15, unless you're flanking.
That'd be like black
Um,
white,
16
Yeah,
hits.
true.
16 hits. Yes.
He will take 2 damage. 2
Two damage.
3 damage.
3 is important.
3
Three
is
is
more
get
than
degrees.
3 is more than 2.
I will,
That's right.
I will attack him one more time
Did you make your
and
hunter mark?
miss. Yes.
Okay. When did you do that?
When I moved over.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't remember
I think.
declaring him.
Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I thought I did. Anyway, I missed him.
I thought it was a pirate that was still.
He was, and I killed him, and then I moved over and started attacking this dude. I thought I made him my mark. Maybe I didn't.
But he is now.
Well, it would be one of your actions.
Sure. I mean, I missed him twice anyway. So
Oh, yeah. Sure.
what difference does it make?
Okay, Freya.
Alright. Jesus Christ. Is anybody fucking terribly hurt again?
No.
Well, I'm at 8, but that's not terrible.
Seriously,
She got you one hit and she
I'm
got hurt.
okay. I'm down 7. I'm at half my life
Yeah.
right now. So
Oh.
they just like to kill me. Maybe it's because I don't know.
Where's the book?
Consult the tome.
Armaments. Oh yeah. He's going strong for me. One back.
Alright, let's see.
Plastic ABS dice.
Oh god, that's a one.
Even the goblins.
I'm
are
trying to
good.
do something
This
for you,
goblin
but it's
should've
not.
killed us by now.
Thanks
Like,
anyway,
even
Glenn.
when I roll for her, it sucks.
I appreciate the attempt. So that's
In the future,
Everything
nothing
is
works.
sucking.
Oh, that's a reaction. I need to be doing that.
Everything blows when you're
But-
part of a team.
Right.
Oh, I have it written right here. I'm stupid.
That's nice words to live by sometimes.
Yes.
So, I will.
See what we do.
Who the commander is that? Who's
Yes, he's a commando.
the commando? Who's he been attacking?
Almost Schwarzenegger in commando.
Who has he been attacking? The commando.
He's been beating the fuck out of him.
All right. I'm going to cast.
He's been him like it was his job.
Well, it kind
Big
of
boy's
is.
bitch slap.
I'm going to cast Forbidding Ward
Forbidding
on using the commando and as the enemy target and Little Man as the allied target. It gives Little Man +1 to AC against that enemy's attacks.
Okay.
And well, it's +1 AC and I think +1 other things. But for the most part, it's +1 AC. So it should make him a little bit more, slightly more difficult to hit.
But what?
Yeah. Well, I mean that's
It's
5%
not,
chance. In theory. So it's +1 conditional bonus armor class and saving throws against the target enemy's attack spells and other effects. So I got that going on. I got one more. That's 2 actions to cast. Is it nothing is within 10 feet of me for me to attack because I have a reach weapon, correct?
Correct.
Nothing.
Alright, then I guess that'll be my action. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Little man.
Alright, I'm gonna take another swipe at that commando. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna hack him diagonally down.
Hey!
The
That's
dice
what I'm
switch
talking about,
worked.
It's a 20 to hit.
Yep.
Finally.
Was it natural for you? or-
No, 17 plus 3.
Okay.
I'm hitting.
That hits.
2d6 plus 7.
Sweet.
8 plus 7 is 15.
15?
He dies.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
15.
That is how you gonna kill him. That's exactly end of the kill.
I cut him diagonally and he just slid apart. He's done. You don't need no more of his story.
Well, I'm
Is it
glad-
the top left and the bottom right, or the top right and the bottom left?
Top right.
Okay.
Well, I guess my ward
Doesn't matter
doesn't matter
now.
anymore.
Next time.
Thanks for that.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
Vikings dice. Actually, this happened last time too. I went to these dice and it worked better. We'll just use these from now on.
Until their power wears off.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you have to shun them.
Okay. Pip is up.
Yay, that's me.
Pip pip hooray.
Woo. So wait,
Oh.
that guy's dead. The only ones left is him.
This
That guy's dead. So the only one left is over here in the corner.
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to move 25 feet, however close I can to him.
That's 25.
Alright. I will move there. What is
I mean, you
my...
could move twice to get up to him and then stab him.
Yeah, that's true. Move again. I already have my dagger drawn, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna stab
Just
him
Stabily.
in the face. Yes, sir. 21.
No hit.
You're not getting sneak attack though because he's not flat-footed.
Yes, but I do get to add my dex to my attack.
Yeah, so you just do 1d4 plus 4 damage.
My dex is more than 4.
No, it's not.
You don't know.
I
She
made the
does.
character, so I do.
Okay. So 1d4 plus 4. Oh, 7. 7 damage.
That's how you gonna kill him because he only has 6 hit points.
I'm gonna stab him right in the eyeball and then pull it out and then just shove it in his mouth.
That's 2 attacks. I'm sorry.
No, the second action is placing it there.
I stab in the eye, pull it out, with the eye still attached, but the ocular nerve is not severed, and then I show him his eye with his eye.
It goes in the
I wanna do that.
That's actually.
Like that scene from City of Lost Children.
Yes.
Ugh.
And he just has an infinite, like, fucking, like, it's like staring in a mirror
Of a
on either
mirror.
side of you.
Yeah.
Just this infinite cascading self.
Are we finally done with this battle?
You have killed everybody.
Sweet!
Oh my god, that only took 2 hours.
We did it at our
More than
rest.
that.
Search the bodies.
Oh, it took 3
I
hours.
gotta go around and pick up all my daggers. Bitch's
Give me a
daggers.
perception.
I need to get my bow too.
Take a perception and then take a break.
Perception.
Yeah,
My
seek
perception
or
is
a search check type
cocked,
thing.
which happens when you're a man.
14.
13.
Can you find some treasure?
16.
13.
Can you find some treasure?
Where's perception?
16.
I like that one. I
Okay,
like
so you find
Where's perception? Okay, so it's 14 percent.
near the rope trigger you
20.
find 2 flasks of alchemist fire,
Sweet.
a
Give those to
smoke
him.
stick, and 10 copper.
Is that a cigarette?
No, it's like a smoke grenade.
I got 20.
20. You find the exact same thing that everyone else found.
So what do I get?
Not double, just the same thing.
You also found it.
And then I get all my daggers back.
So
Right?
You get half your daggers back and half your half your arrows back.
I get
What?
everybody.
I only get half my daggers back?
Oh, half your arrows.
Half arrows, because they
All-
break.
all-
Daggers
all-
are
all
broken.
daggers.
breaking
But
on
the good news
All
is that all these other guys had bows, so they all have fucking arrows
Yes,
too.
so restock your quivers. Although most of those arrows were shot.
I'll have everybody
at you
gather
guys.
around, and I cast another AOE heal. Everybody heals. What was that? That was
1d.
no, yeah, it was fucking 12 hit points.
Everybody heals 12 hit points?
Yes.
Okay.
I only have one more heal for the day, people.
I'm good. I'm full now.
So I'm gonna go over to that pyromancer as he's, I'm like, that's how I did it, and then I smash his face in.
There's a
of
healing
hatefulness.
potion.
With the healing potion. Yes.
Oh, I still have a healing potion that you gave me, so. How long do I have it?
Till the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I am an alchemist.
I'm going to search until I find a key.
To that other door, smart.
Take 20.
Yeah.
Take
None of them
20.
have any keys on them.
So you
However,
search
you do
until you're
notice-
dead.
Rip me.
Give me a roll.
What am I rolling?
Perception.
13.
You notice there's something funny about that wall. That's the only thing you've
I'm going to investigate the wall.
It has a joke written on it.
it says,
Because you found something funny about
two
it.
goblins walk into a bar. I'll do the roll for you.
Knock knock. Who's there? Pizza. Pizza who?
Yeah.
Pizza delivery.
I can't even, no. That was a
Fucking
2.
Paxton cackles like a madman after he tells you that.
It is kind of
After
funny.
searching thoroughly for 20 minutes, you find that there is a door there, but you cannot get it open.
Hey guys.
Nor can you force it open.
Then I don't care.
There's a door here, but I don't know how to open it.
It's really well hidden.
Can the rogue get it open?
Possibly, if she wants to do some thieving.
How can I
Make a
aid
thievery check,
her?
rogue.
Make a thievery
I'll
check?
give you 2 chances before it breaks.
How does aid work?
Alright, well
Just
that's a
help them. It
9,
gives them a plus
so that's
2.
not gonna
Yeah.
work.
Okay, well you have a +2.
Oh, so that's a
I
11.
think, isn't it? Aid?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think. Aid is just.
I think you have to be trained in the skill, though, to be able to
I am
aid.
trained in thieving.
I'm not.
You, for him to aid you.
Oh.
Where is playing the game? It's under playing the game, right?
Yeah, that's when they're playing the game.
The first time I got a 9, second time I got an 18.
Total, or? Alright, later,
I feel
man.
better, man.
Yeah, try to feel better.
Later,
Don't,
bro.
Bye.
don't shit your bed.
Hey, we good for Tuesday?
Yeah, we're good for Tuesday.
Sweet.
Y'all good night.
As long as he doesn't shit the
Yeah,
bed.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
not
die.
sure
Stop
that-
falling apart, Jeremy.
I'm trying.
Stop.
Fucking old.
Yeah,
We're just carrying duct everywhere.
Wait, you're older than me, aren't you, bitch?
Yes, by a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm definitely older than you, so don't worry about it.
Wait, I'm-
Yeah, it's just a
Are
+2
you?
circumstance, so.
I thought
Dude,
we were
I'm
the same age. I thought you were the same age.
Freaking 40.
Oh, you're a little bit older.
Okay, well, you hear it clicking a little bit, and
Oh, I thought
that's
it
about
was
it. It's like you
No, it's
could
not.
almost have gotten it,
Oh,
but
But he couldn't aid me.
You did.
he did.
Okay, so I got a 20 then.
Yeah, that's why it clicked. It
Oh.
like literally says like I think it said, well, it said 3 20s thief check to pick it.
Oh, so it's
Wait,
a.
wait, 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 wait. She can spend actions to
To lower
decrease
the
the
D-
DC.
Yes.
Yes, she can.
Yes.
That's the thing.
But we're not in the account say do actions.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It just means that you can only ever reduce the DC by 10.
Right.
So basically, you're spending time. It just so instead of hurriedly picking it, she's methodically picking it. Is essentially the difference. It takes her additional time.
If we were in combat, it would take the form of actions.
Right.
But outside of combat, it's essentially the same as taking 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sort of.
And there really isn't a lot on this.
So I'm not sure she could. I'm not sure she can fail a DC 10 thievery check. What's your thievery? 8, 9?
4.
Oh yeah, because you're at first level right now. That's right.
So you
So yeah,
She
you-
could.
Well, I got an 11
Hold
the
on.
first time and a
Yeah.
Okay,
20 the
so I read the
second.
one. It says a PC can pick the lock with 3 successful DC 15 3 skill checks.
Okay,
So
I got one.
really, if she took her time, they'd be DC 5s,
Yeah.
which means with her +4, she literally can't fail it
She
unless,
can't-
unless she critically fails it.
Correct.
So
But
It
it
would
says the way I read this is you do three.
she would need to pick the lock 3 times.
No, you do 3 skill checks,
Mm-hmm.
and if you do you pass all 3, then you open it. Otherwise, you don't open it.
Right.
Correct.
You can't keep going at I'm going to do it 7 times or 8 times.
Yeah, but
You
she's
do
not doing
3
that.
successful.
She's not
She
doing
would
that.
spend 2 actions to reduce the DC, make a skill check.
Right.
And then she would spend 2 actions to decrease the DC, make a skill check. And then 2 actions to decrease the DC, make a skill check. So it would take her 3 rounds of actions.
Or 18 seconds to pick instead of 6 seconds to
Yeah.
pick.
Well,
Right.
then you can always pick anything just about, right?
No, because
No.
the DCs of things go up over time.
If
Do I
it,
pick it or
was
not?
if it was a high quality door, the DC could be
30.
way fucking higher.
50.
Hell, like I think a high jump DC base is like a DC 30 check. And the reason why is because you can take 2 actions to reduce it to 20, and then you make your roll and you see whether or not you do it.
Yeah. Well, let's do it then.
Well, she already did 2 of them technically.
Well, let's mulligan it because I didn't
Okay.
Alright,
we didn't have the
Make a
rules
check.
right.
well, that is a 13.
Okay.
Are you aiding?
I don't think it matters.
Okay. That is a 19. And that is a 21.
Okay. So you pick it.
Cool. Are there any traps?
That's going to be a different check.
That's a different check.
So make a perception check.
I got 5, but what do I get from my...
Add your perception.
Add your perception.
Okay, but what do I get from my trap thing?
You're getting +1 from your fine traps, so your perception +1.
So, perception 6, 11, 12.
You do not detect any traps.
Cool. I don't
I'm not
detect.
saying that there aren't any. I'm just saying you
I don't
detect
detect any traps.
any. Okay. Do you wish to open it?
I will open it.
Okay. It is a very narrow crawl space that leads into darkness.
Alright. Looks fun. Hey guys, there's a very narrow crawl space that leads into darkness. Y'all wanna
It's
come?
goblin inside, isn't it?
Let's move this over there. There you go.
Alright,
What do you want to do?
I got dark vision. I'll take a look.
Okay, you take a look with your super duper dark vision and let's see where it goes. Since
To your mama.
actually, I know where it goes. There's a map. Okay, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 30. How far are you gonna? How you just go?
I just want to look. I'm not going inside here.
Well, it's
Oh, okay.
it just
alright.
keeps going back and
Alright, fine. I'll go down here and take a look.
about 30 feet into it, it widens into a dark little cubby hole.
Okay. I come back and tell everybody that. Well,
Okay. Did you bring the beds? Or any bed materials? No?
No.
Okay. Don't forget it. It's cool. There's a bed in there. And 2 chests.
oh, so it goes into another room.
Yes.
Basically.
That
Alright.
little room. And that it's essentially this room here. I didn't want to draw the
Okay.
winding,
alright.
twisting caves, so. And then. Where are the chests? We have chests. We have so many chests.
So I come back and tell everybody, hey, it leads into like another.
And the
Area.
jiggling them out there.
I don't even know about this part. I mean, it was off the. It's off the spots that goblins are allowed into.
So, you want to go down there?
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Sure, come on in.
I'll come.
because I'm trying to cut to the chase here so we can actually get something accomplished.
We did get something accomplished.
Oh yeah, but it took everything we had to get this accomplished.
And all night.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, this is what you suspect is Dracus's lair of his treasure trove.
Yeah, I think this is Dracus's treasure trove, guys.
This cramped cavern reeks of stale sweat and dried blood. Tucked into the far corner is a filthy straw bed made from ratty hides and moldy clothes. Off to the side sits a pair of chests, one which is open and filled to the top with a strange assortment of clothes, and the other one closed. So, everybody come in here?
Yep.
So the poison attacker will attack everybody. Oh wait, what did I say that out
Don't pick
loud?
the kitty.
Kitty does not want to go in there. Kitty said, this stinks. Okay.
No worse than the cat box.
Cat food ass.
Actually, no, whatever. It's coming from the side, whatever. You guys came in from the side.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to know what's in the chest?
Yes, tell us.
Okay. The open chest. Open chest contains a wide variety of clothing, garments, worn by Dracus whenever he needed. Worn by Dracus. Okay. Some barbarian hides, merchant clothes, noble attire, fake jewelry, and a city watch uniform. Together, they're worth about 10 silver pieces.
No, this
If
is
you wanted to sell them all. So, huzzah! This is like 5e treasure, man.
It's big money.
What is it?
That was in the open
Private
chest. Now, do you want to? Does anyone want to look at the closed chest?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and
Really
check it
nice.
out.
Roll whatever you're gonna do to it.
I'm gonna check it for traps first.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get a 15.
You are gonna get a 15. Let me consult the bestiary. Quite quickly.
Man, if this is a mimic, I'm just like.
I told you there was a mimic in there.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
When?
When you guys walked in there. I was just joking, though. You guys never listen to the DM. Where is 14? Page 14. What do you need? You need a perception. You do not detect any traps.
I don't?
No.
Oh, I get +1 bonus, so I got a 16.
Oh, you rolled a 14, you said.
No, I got a 15, and then I got a +1 circumstance bonus to perception check to find traps.
Okay, you find a trap.
Sweet!
By the skin of your teeth.
I'm glad I looked that up.
Okay, now what do you want to do?
I want to disable the trap as though I have a proficiency rank of Master in Thievery. So, what does that mean?
That means you get a +4 to your thievery check for proficiency.
Okay.
Mastery is a +2. But I think also if you look at the skill for disarming, it probably says, if you're a master, you can do this, and that's probably what it means. So, like, here, let me go to...
Okay, give me three rechecks.
That is a 15.
Plus
Not
your-
addition, adding.
Add your other stuff.
Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to be adding right now.
It's your thievery.
I know, so it's I got 11 plus 4 is 15, and then apparently I'm gonna get more
Or something.
or something.
So, no, it doesn't say anything about doing something extra if you're master. So basically, you're trained right now, but you work as if you're master. Is that right?
Yeah.
Which means you need to add 2 to whatever it says on the piece of
So
paper.
that-
for disabling device.
17.
Okay, let's see.
Got 17 the
Hold on.
first time.
That's your first attempt.
Yep.
So it says here, reaction. Creature attempts to pick or unlock the thing. Effect. A spine springs out and attacks a triggering creature. Okay, so I guess I have to do a melee attack against you.
Okay.
It's a critical miss, so I guess it's not going to do anything.
So it breaks.
Okay?
Alright. Was gonna roll again?
That doesn't make any sense. Cladis poison, maximum duration 4 hours. So it only happens the one time? Or is it multiple times?
Probably multiple times.
What?
Well, it happens the one time, and I assume she makes another check.
Right.
What
Yeah,
happens?
she-
It's just a dart that comes out and attacks her?
Yeah.
It's a
The spring-loaded poison spine is hidden near the keyhole of the lock.
Imagine it doesn't attack multiple times, the spring's not going to reload itself.
So, but it says melee spine plus 10 to
Okay.
attack. I roll a 1, of course. It's a miss.
Okay.
So it does no damage. It doesn't
Okay.
poison her.
Okay.
Okay. Next roll.
That will be a 18.
Okay.
Same.
I mean, if it doesn't happen again, then
I don't see unless it says something in there about
the trigger is a creature attempts to unlock or pick the lock.
but if it doesn't say anything about resetting, the trap can only trigger once.
No.
unless it's magical.
Right, but it's saying it's spring loaded, so it's
Yeah.
not.
I don't see how the spring could reset itself either.
Okay. Then, okay. Continue.
And then this will be a 20.
Okay. Well, you tripped the trap, but you did not unlock the chest.
I tripped the trap, but I did not. I wasn't trying to unlock it, I was trying to disable the trap.
Well, it's the same. It
Ah,
says
okay.
right here.
Congratulations.
I didn't do
To
anything.
succeed, at least you need 22 DC 22 3 checks to pick the lock and trap.
Okay, so I didn't get it.
Okay.
Oh, well, boo.
I mean, could she do the action thing again,
I don't see why
or is
she
that how
couldn't.
that works?
I mean, I don't.
I'm trying to find the rule again. I don't remember where I freaking read it. I'm trying to find it in here so I can make sure that we know exactly what the hell we're doing. But I'm having a hard time finding where I was reading it at.
Can I see this?
So if you're gonna take time to do this, I'm probably gonna have Dracus interrupt you guys at some point. So tell me how long you're gonna spend doing this.
Well, hang on, let's find some rules we need to
If
figure
you
out.
say you can take 20, then he's gonna interrupt you.
We need to find out what the rules are in order to tell you that.
Well, that's the problem.
It's a very tight space to be fighting a Dracus.
I don't know what Dracus is or does. I know he's a hobgoblin, so I don't. Other than that,
I don't think it's 3 goblins.
He appears to be
he's
a
a
hobgoblin.
3 goblins in a trench coat.
I mean, we found the trench coat.
It's true.
Yeah, I find out.
Stay tuned while we look up the rules.
We
You know
should
the map is
we should just move forward and not.
You want
worry
to just
about
take the chest with you?
Sure.
We'll just slap it on little fingers. I'm sorry.
little man.
Little man.
He's now the burrow, and that's
Yes.
why he's not in combat anymore.
Yes, he is the chest that carries.
The ass.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn, you know the map's not on there, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been on for a while, so we don't really
yeah.
count
What are you gonna do?
poison lock thing.
But you know what? They're reading about the poison lock now.
That's right.
So was I.
So are you. Okay. Well, did you see anything else in it that
Nope.
would trigger twice? Okay.
Nope.
It's a one and done. It's shot its load and it's no good.
In fact, you probably should have waited.
Now that's
for
a hazard 1 trap, okay?
I
Imagine,
know plenty of
imagine a
things
hazard
that
2.
do that.
Probably not
Hazard
as
2 would kill
effective.
us.
Yes. Okay, well, continuing on. Are you gonna take the chest full of nasty clothes
No,
with the funk and the dunk?
no.
Okay.
Well, actually, can I check? Can I like pull out the clothes and see if there's like maybe a trick bottom underneath?
Yes, you pull all the clothes out
And there's
and
no like.
you are covered in his funk now. You smell like
Whatever.
him.
Cool.
Okay. You want to continue that way? Or you want to
I
go
think
back
that
to
might be,
you want to go back to the main goblin, or there's a path that goes south out of this?
So go back the way we came. So that way we,
Or-
are sure that there are less monsters and things to fight.
Or you can go south.
What's the benefit of that?
Is Drax's lure maybe going to take you right to him and bypass anything else?
Why would I want to take the treasure to Dracus?
Because you only have 30 minutes left.
But if we don't have to encounter Dracus, then there's no reason.
We have to encounter Dracus because he has the item that we have to take back.
I thought it